Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Virtual Racers Club. And we've got something special this evening. A 2.5 hour race for you, really. I'm trying to do two things, sorry. We're at Spa, 24. I don't think it is, actually. Got that wrong already. We're at Spa, okay? For a 2.5 hour race. And it's for charity. It's for charity. We're asking people to donate money in our Discord. There's a link for Cancer Research UK. And we'll update you on that in a sec on how that's going. Because I think we've exceeded expectations, so we're all buzzing. So Skyjack says hi you, and Homesick Alien says good evening mate. So we had qualifying last week. I don't know if you've been keeping up with the ins and the outs. I might have to go back to proper names. I think I'm going to call him Lycitis. Let me have a quick look. Sorry to be messing around with nicknames and stuff. Well, I always thought I was going to slowly try and eke back two nicknames. He's Normans. It's Normans, okay? It's Normans. So that's Normans. Yeah, Normans. Late entry, I think, because Racer Brown, I don't know if he can reach us in time. He's right in to reach you, but I can never reach you. And something else that they sung. Mama Homesick in the chat saying, evening thingy, hope you're okay. Good luck, everyone. And Homesick Alien saying, thank you for your generosity and good luck, everyone. There you go. Yes, thank you, everyone. They all paid to pay to play. They've all paid £10 to take part. I don't think this is the race. I think it's just a reset of the room. This is what it looks like in all of their cars. I'm going to have to go back. I'm not going to recognise those names. I'm looking at them now thinking I don't know those names. For heaven's sakes, I'm going to have to... We'll do the nicknames another time. Hey, up. Got another room setting change. Everyone are very excited before the race. Ooh, that's gloomy, isn't it? Ooh, is it starting wet? Is it starting wet? It looks like it could be beginning to look like a wet race. No, I don't want any of that. And I want to display online IDs because I'm just going to get darned confused now. Supermanny's gone for a set of wets. No one else yet. I'm going to go to track to see who's out there. I've got the grid in front of me. I'm going to try and get to it. Oh, and Pat saying really. Well, I don't know what's happened here. Who knows? It might be just by chance that it's wet and it might start wet. So, the grid. In the Group 1s, we have Racer Brown, but I don't believe he can make it. Car 86.
Going to be a good one. Hi, Thingy. Please donate, please.
I don't think he can make it. So Matt Psycho might be default pole. Matt Psycho in the Porsche, pipped to pole by 0.05 of a second, is looking like he's going to start from the front. Jimbo, I'll tell you their original qualifying, but be known that they're all bumping up one. Jimbo, third in his Porsche. Supermanny, fourth in his Toyota GR010. Then we have a Skyjacker, fifth in his Toyota TSO50. Then we have Busy Bazza in sixth in his Porsche 919. Then seventh is Ensign Hewitt in the Nissan GTR LM, and Pat 8th in the Toyota TSO50. In the Group 3 category, it is multi-class this evening. We have Homesick Alien on pole in the Genesis X, and then we have, I think, K&. Pace in second place in the Atenza. Liam Anfield is third in the Jaguar. Koikarp starting fourth in class in the BMW M6. Talleyrand starting fifth also in the BMW M6. Jokus in sixth in the Jaguar. And Bandit starting seventh in the Beamer BMW. Now, I did some liveries today. I did some quick livery sort of like build-ups to the race. Oh no, what did he say? What have I done? Oh, you freeze the food. Yeah, it's alright. It's an answer to something I said earlier. Joke from a stream further back. So look at that. It's soggy. Let's have a look at the contenders then. There's the Baz. There's Joe Cass. We've got a quick time to read. Look, I'm all over the place and I'm trying to keep up with everything. I'm spinning plates, people. So in the chat, what were we up to? Pat saying, hey there. Skyjacker saying mine should be obvious. And Mama Sykes saying, hi guys, going to be a good one. Hi thingy, please donate, peeps. That's it. Give us your ruddy money. So out there then, we've got the Baz. They've got in, he's gone intermediates now. Oh, I get bored of saying it. You probably get bored of hearing it. But on the dashboard, at the bottom of the screen, to your left, there is a little bar. And that bar is to indicate how much water is on the track. I like to think of it as the depth of water. So there's 3 little notches on that bar. And up to the first little notch is dry. And your best tyre would be the dry tyre. The notch between the middle, should we call it the middle block, is intermediate tyres, your intermediates, and then when it just moves over that line and goes blue, then we're looking at wet tyre situation. Now the host might add on a little time here for because it doesn't look like anyone is at all ready for wet at the moment. We had a total dry qualifying. There is a Joker says Jaguar. I do like that. You should have shared it. I could have done a little walk around that today. Supermanny in the Pace Team hybrid Toyota, isn't it? It's the newest Toyota, I believe. And they're all jostling out there. It's only practice though. There's no qualifying, so they're getting a bit of extra practice. And Ensign Newitt then in the long boy. He'll struggle the most in the wet if it is going to be a wet start. He's torrid understeer in that Nissan. Pace there second in the Group 3 cars. On the second on the grid, that is. He'll be fighting Homesick Alien in his Jenny C's Norman's last minute entry, last minute stand-in. So his livery's probably not up to reg. It's not too bad though. He's managed to get the right number board on there. He's got a VRC on the back. He's done all right, hasn't he? He's not done too bad. No sponsorship for poor Normans. We're just going to call that the Silver Dream. The Silver Rocket. He's gone into the pits, a bit shy. We're back to Ensign. Pace we saw. Then there's Jim, looking mighty fine in his Porsche. He's bumped up to second. I haven't seen Racer Brown enter the room yet.
Hours of practice with random weather and not a drop of rain.
Oh, Pat telling us his woes. Oh gosh, I've hit something. Starting the rain, Pace is asking. Who knows? It's random. It's random, my friends. So no one really knows. I'm scared. Flashman saying good evening all. Pat saying it's almost as if it was set up at the multiple hours of practice with random weather and not a drop of rain. Does seem sus, doesn't it? I mean, we could put a steward in. Everyone's asking, but it's random. I don't think he knows. I don't think anyone knows. It's just random. He just reset a lobby just for resetting it ready for the race, and it's turned out to be wet, but it's drying. So it might be a dry race. Who knows? Oh, no one knows what to start the race on. This is the Jeopardy. And it is a bit of a tomfool. It is silly of GT7 or Polybaloney to have done that because it's random and no one knows. I'd start on inters just in case. I don't know. Oh dear, what are they going to do? Who's going to be bold? It looks like it's drying. By the time the race starts, I reckon that's going to be softs, lads. Soft tyres. Oh my word, they don't know what to do. We don't know what they can do. A lot of them are sat in the pits. It's very quiet out there. And they're all saying they are ready. It's drying. Go with dry tyres, lads. Lads. So in the chat then, Kalen saying hectic, and Kalen saying good luck to everyone. Good luck indeed. Don't even know what the weather's going to be at the start. At least in real life they can look out the garage. Here we go then. What's it going to be? It's still damp. It's damp, but it's drying. There's some on wets. Matt Psycho's gone for inters. Jim's gone for wets. Superman, it's raining. It's raining though. It looks like it is raining, so I don't think it's a drying track at all. It's a rolling start. Matt Psycho's on inters then. Jim's on wets. Superman is on wets. Skyjacker's gone inters. Baz is on wets. Ensign's on wets. Pat's on wets. Norman's is on inters. Then we've got Homesick on inters. Wets for pace. It started. Sorry, I'll have to just quickly cut as Matt Psycho on those intermediates. But the intermediate is the better tyre at the moment. But Jim looking like he's owning Eau Rouge with no problems whatsoever. Skyjacker there, third place on his inters, and he's catching up. He's catching up, so it's an indication that the inters may be the correct tyre at this moment, but no one really knows. And Skyjacker trying to pull off an early move into the chicane, and he's done a super job. Jim holding on in third. Supermanny also on those wets, and so is Ensign Newitt making great starts there with Bazza down in sixth. Norman seventh on the inters. Then we have Homesick ahead of Pat. No, Pat's had a slip. He's in the Group 1 category. Homesick Alien in the Group 3 is being chased by Pace. Pace is on the wets. Inters for Homesick Alien. Pat's gone for full wets, but he's struggling there with the other cars around him, and he has to give way to those guys. Liam Anfield is in third on the inters, with Koikart fourth on the inters. Talleyrand is fifth on full wets. Jokus is sixth on the inters, and Bendit is seventh on the wets. Matt Psycho meanwhile 1.2 seconds ahead of Skyjacker, with Jim in third on them wet tyres, but he's got a bunch of wet tyres behind him. Then we have Pat's got himself back into position, letting Homesick. Oh, we've got yellows. Who was that? It's Skyjacker. Return of the Spinjacker. So, and you can't blame him in the wet, can you? Really, it's frantic out there. Pat's catching up with Skyjacker. Long race, 2.5 hours. Remember, 2.5 hours. Or 75 laps, which is an approximation of 2.5 hours. Homesick Alien on those inters. It's getting wetter, guys. It's getting wetter. The monitor down in the corner is saying it's getting wetter. So KLM Pace then is going to get you. Is in 10th. Liam Anfield in 11th, chasing him down in the Jaguar. It's very close down here for the Group 3 cars. Koikarp in 12th. Talleyrand 13th. Oh, I did see Talleyrand did share that. Still, again, I didn't know what beamers they had. Joker's in 14th, and Bendit, he slipped back a little bit. He wasn't in qualifying. I think we've got yellow flags. Oh, it looks like Liam Anfield's had some sort. Oh, we've had all sorts of issues in the chicane. My word. Shall we try and see if we can see what happened there? So Liam Anfield, he's going into the corner. I think he was third. Oh, Pace had an off. Liam had to get out of his way, and I think there was just a little sliding, knocking, and it was just a little bit of an absolute crack show going on down there. With the wet weather, a reshuffle in the Group 3s. Bazza's up into second place. Norman's is third. Oh my lord, it's getting wetter out there. People are struggling. Supermanny's dropped. Supermanny, we know we saw Skyjacker, but Supermanny's dropped off as well. And Jim's dropped back behind Norman's and Bazza. Oh my lord, you can't take your eyes off these guys for 1 second. Matt Psycho keeping it slow and low, just like the tempo. Steady Eddie all the way. And there we go. We've got Bazza up into second place. Car 74. Would you Adam and Eve it? Kaylan saying at Lowell will pit, start on wets. Kaylan, damn it. Skyjack saying, we say it's a tough race, Lowell. Good luck all. Yes, unbelievable stuff. So Bazza pulled out 3 seconds on Norman's nearly being caught out by Jim. Nearly gathered up Norman's there. I don't think he was expecting Norman's being that slow, but it is turning into a wet Wet race, a proper wet race, not your intermediate muck. And Jim will be coming into his own soon. And what will these guys do? Baz is on the wets as well, and he's going to be catching. He's going to be catching because it's getting like standing water out there, and the intermediates will not stand for that. Jim then up into fourth. Look, he's all up and in Norman's face. He needs this. He wants this. He's going to get this. And the fuel glitch that Polly Baloney don't believe they need to get rid of is there. So Jimbo, fourth place at the moment, but eager to get a move on. Skyjack has had a good comeback there. Hasn't lost too much time to Jim. Superman, he's slipping down into 6th. Ensign Ewer in 7th. Pat is in 8th. Then we've got the Group 3 cars. Homesick Alien nearly 4 seconds ahead of Liam. Oh, we saw that whole cluster happening earlier, didn't we? So Liam is he is in 2nd place with Jokers up into 3rd. Talaran now in 4th. Koikarp 5th. Pace dropping down into 6th, 6 seconds off of those guys, but it's a long race and he might be on the correct tyre, although it's dry in some parts of the track. And there we have Bendit, he's 14 seconds off. Matt Psycho then, he might be okay. It seems to be dipping around that weather at the moment. I thought it was getting wetter, but there's some parts of the track it's intermediate. Norman's still ahead of Jim losing time. See, yeah, it's the changeable track. It's a struggle for him out there because some parts of the track looks very wet, and then we see the intermediate runners struggling, and then in other parts of the track it's not so wet, and the intermediates drivers are starting to come back at the wet tired drivers. There's Skyjacker, he's got the fastest lap on 2nd lap. Superman, 3.8 seconds down on him. He's on the wet tyres, so he's praying for more rain, as is Ensign Ewer. Pat 10 seconds adrift of these guys. Like he said, he's done hundreds of hours simulated and no wet weather, and then the day of the race, what happens? The skies open up and we are given a gift of randomness. Matt Psycho's not random, he's flying. Bazza, what's happened to the camera? Bazza then in 2nd, but Norman's only 2 seconds behind him. Jim's being caught by Skyjacker. And my word, the windshield wipers aren't going. It might be drying up there, and Skyjacker's got the fastest car on track at the moment. We'll get on to all the charity stuff at some point, but we ain't got time at the moment. Too much racing. We haven't even nearly looked at the Group 3 guys, and they're really bunched up. We just want to see if Skyjacker pulls off this move against the Jim up the inside. He's done it as he outbraked himself. Those inters, a lot more grip than the wets are giving up there. And Jim is just praying for rain, or it might have to be an early pit stop because that track is getting drier and drier. It is. I was saying it was getting wetter, but I take it back because now it is proper. Oh, a few people going wide there. It was Matt Psycho and Bazza, I think, and Skyjacker. Oh no, that is Baz. Sorry, no, it wasn't Matt Psycho going wide. It was Bazza. And Skyjacker. Norman's in the action. Jim. Oh, Jim's lost another spot. Superman-y, 5 seconds behind him. These guys are going to have to make a decision soon about the track. Ensign Ewer also on those wets. Totally missing the track there. It's a bit wetter out there, probably he's thinking. Pat, he's catching up with them guys ahead. He was 10 seconds behind Ensign Ewer. Now only 6 seconds. So, and he's got the fastest lap. So, Pat, go my son. Get in there. Homesick Alien, 8 seconds, 9 seconds. It's a slam dunk for the Gen X, isn't it? In the lead of this race. Mama Homesick saying, can we see the Group 3s too, please? Just getting there. I was just working my way down. So Homesick Alien, absolutely pelting it. 7 seconds ahead of Liam Anfield. Liam Anfield, only a second ahead of Coy. Talaran there. Oh, we've had a few wide boys. Pace struggling with those wet tyres to stay on the track, and Jokers has dropped down the order as well. But I mean, Homesick Alien has got this one wrapped up. It's tough to see him losing it. Koikarp on the intermediates may possibly pose a threat, and but at the moment he's posing a threat to the Jaguar of Liam Anfield. Although I think Liam may have just got past Coy. I've got a feeling. No, Coy 37.3, 36.9. But Coy very tight on the heels of Liam Anfield, and this is great for Homesick Alien out there in the lead. He gets to stretch that lead out a little bit more, and at the moment I believe he's probably looking after his car quite nicely. Nothing's changed at the top there. Matt Psycho, no, Bazza's been overtaken by Skyjacker. Skyjacker is on fire at the moment, and Matt Psycho's gone in. It's too dry even for his inters. Careful coming out the pits, Matt Psycho. It's deadly. Skyjacker, Bazza decide to stay out, so does Normans. And if the Group 3 cars aren't far enough back, this is really going to be the cat amongst the pigeons there. And Jim goes through. No one else is opting to pit. Matt Psycho coming in for dries. Mr. the Big Balls. Is he wrong? Because no one's agreeing with him. And like I said, the Group 3's catch him now. The Group 3's miles away. Matt Psycho should be back out and on his way. And Pat, there he goes now. Oh, he's gone for another set of inters. Very, very strange. Sorry, softs. And there we go. It is the 24-hour track. I was nearly right. It's got to be very ginger on his exit, as it's extremely wet over there. No dry line yet. And the tyres are going to be cold. It's going to take a while for them to warm up. We'll keep an eye on that situation. Homesick Alien, meanwhile, quarter of a tank of fuel, intermediate tyres, sitting well, and he's ahead of Liam Anfield, who had Koi Carp biting at his heels. Now Jokus is under trouble to Pace. Talleyrand's gone in. Talleyrand's taking the route that Matt Psycho has, and he's gone in to get rid of those wet tyres. Jokus wiggling around, is not quite ready yet for those wets, and Pace staying with his wets. Koi Carp still hunting down Liam Anfield with Homesick Alien in the lead. 6 seconds though. Liam Anfield is slowly closing the gap to Homesick Alien. Meanwhile, Skyjacker's in. Oh yeah, Skyjacker obviously is in the lead of this race because Matt Psycho pitted. What are these guys thinking? Are they going to go around again? It's down into that first little column, but see, the curbs are still wet. They're still getting a bit of moisture from the curbs, and they're doing okay. Norman's absolutely last minute coming into the race is owning it. Look at him flying up against Skyjacker, Bazza, Normans. Jim in 4th place with Supermanny coming through in 5th. Ensign Ewart in the Nissan absolutely killed those front tyres, but he's still continuing on. Interesting. And Pat's going to catch him pretty soon. Matt Psycho then on those tyres, coming around, still on his out lap. Do you think he kept it facing the right way all the way around? He took it gingerly, I bet. He's 9 seconds off of Pat, but he's now on the soft tyre. And I know we want to see what other guys are doing. Oh, I think he did lose some time because Homesick Alien was a minute behind him, and now it's 40 seconds. So, very intense stuff. He's only 35 seconds behind Skyjacker. And it looked... Oh, and there you go. That's the jeopardy of putting a set of soft tyres on when it's a little early in the race to do so. Skyjacker continues on his intermediate, still flicking up the purples, with Bazza in 2nd place. Norman's in 3rd in the Silver Dream Machine. Jim is 4th. He's on those wet tyres as well. He'll be wanting a pit stop soon enough, but it's not quite ready yet, Jim. Matt lost it at the top of Eau Rouge. Rayon. Supermanny looking for any wet part of the track he can. Pat now up to 6th. Ensign Ewart stretching out that lead to Matt Psycho, who is finding the dry bits of the track. Homesick Alien 6.5 seconds ahead of Liam, and Liam back under threat from Koi Carp. Koi Carp coming on strong in certain parts of the track, and he's giving Liam Anfield a lot to think about at this point. Jokus, KLM pace has pitted as well, to obviously get rid of those wet tyres. The guys out there on inters is, I believe, Homesick on the inters, Liam's on the inters, Koi Carp's on the inters, Jokus is on the inters. Pace is at to pit for the wets. We saw Talleyrand coming in for soft tyres, Is he coping with them a little better than Matt Psycho? Normans is up into second place. Sorry, I'm jumping around, I know. But Normans has got to move on the Baz. And Normans is absolutely flying here. It's cracking. Like I said, it was literally 10 or 15 minutes before the session started. And he was offered the free spot that Racer Brown could not occupy. Jim's gone in, and so has Ensign Newer. It's all shuffling now. And Matt Psycho will start seeing some positions coming back. Already on Ensign Newer, he's got one done, and his times are starting to come down. Pat, Jim also going into the pit. So Homesick Alien, will he pit on the Inters? There's no water on the track. There's a little there. There's a lot there. So there's certain parts of the track there is water there. He's 6.2 seconds. So Liam is slowly faster than the Gen X. Koikarp's dropped right off the back of Liam Anfield now. Jokus still on his intermediates. He's nearly 18 seconds behind Koikarp. Talaran 21 seconds behind Jokus. Man, these guys have really spaced out. And you can see, is that Bazza getting a lap done on Talaran there, chasing down Normans. Bendit is now ahead of pace. He's kept his intermediate tyres on. And another car coming up to lap him. I believe it's Jim, isn't it? Yeah, Jim in amongst the Group 3 cars. That's what it looks like. And it is the Group 3 cars can take whatever line they wish. It's their prerogative. It's their line. It's down to the Group 1 cars to find a way past. Jim, 22 seconds behind Matt Psycho. Skyjacker then 8.5 seconds ahead of Normans, who's flying, absolutely pelting it, and so is Skyjacker as well. The Toyotas, is that a Toyota? That might be a Porsche. I don't know the difference. Baz is in a Porsche. Superman-y is into the pits. He's had enough of those wet tyres. Is Pat going to follow suit? It looks like Pat's driving around the outside of the... What is going on with the cameras? So Pat has gone in, and that's another position for Matt Psycho. He's ahead of Pat, Jim, and Ensign Newitt now. Homesick Alien 6.5 seconds ahead of Liam Anfield. He's 4 seconds ahead of Koikarp. Talaran now up. Oh no, Talaran's dropped it. Talaran's dropped it as Jokus goes into the pits. Bendit's on the move. He's being pushed along by KLM Pace. KLM Pace, I think, may have to go at some point in the race. We're only on lap 6 of 75. Well, that's for the Group 3 cars, actually. The Group 1 cars have done a few more. Bendit's gone out wide, and that's given the position to Pace. Pace on those soft tyres is now trying to look to close in on Jokus, who's come in, put the softs on. He's back out again. He's 18 seconds behind Talleyrand, even though Talleyrand we saw have that spin, and he's 52 seconds behind Koikarp. Wow, it's really spaced out, apart from first and second and third. Pat's into the pits for those wet, to get rid of those wet tyres. Skyjacker's still happy on the Inters. He's doing 210s. Normans, 211s. Happy days. Bazza, he's on the wet tyre and he's doing 212s. He's thereabouts. He's still on the tail of Normans. I think Normans must have dropped a bit of time this lap, but he was about 8. I'm confused that Bazza's suddenly starting to catch Normans up. Matt Psycho up to 4th, and there he goes. It's 2:05, and that has got to be the biggest indicator to Skyjacker to get in the pits. He's 5 seconds a lap faster than you. It's time. Bazza still continues on. Normans does. He sees that fastest lap, and he says, yeah, I concede. Ensign Newitt went in on a set of mediums, and we know that why, because his tyre absolutely chews away at those racing soft tyres. And Pat, we saw him pitting, didn't we? Oh, he's had a big shunt on his way out of the pit. Super Manny, meanwhile on a set of mediums, sees that as a position and fancies it. Homesick Alien, 6.9 seconds. He's pulling away from Liam Anfield now. And Liam Anfield 4 seconds ahead of Coy, who's 48 seconds ahead of Talleyrand. But Talleyrand now, no. His last lap wasn't a great one. Must have had that spin on that one. Joker's 20 seconds behind him. Still on his outlap. KLM Pace is on the move with his softs. And Bendit is still going around on the inters. He wants to run that fuel tank out, obviously. Skyjacker coming across one of the Group 3 cars. It's Talleyrand. No, it's Quick Up, sorry. And Bazza. So Norman's out of the pits behind Jim. Jim's made it through with those soft tyres. He's been doing some competitive lap times. And Norman's has lost a position or two from staying out long. And he wasn't, you know, that far behind Skyjacker. Skyjacker might struggle to get out. Most definitely will struggle to get out ahead of Matt Psycho. So Skyjacker's battle at the moment is staying ahead of Jim, but all the time he's out on track, he's losing time. The intermediates just aren't giving up the times that the soft tyres are at the moment. Bazza also on the wets is going faster than the intermediates for some reason. Maybe he slicked them up a little bit. Right, these guys, they're quite happy. Inters, Koi Cup also on inters, but they've got to watch out now. They've got the Tallerands, the Jokerses and the Pacers there behind them on faster tyres. Skyjacker's got the message. He's got the message. He's come in. And I've got to say, these Group 3 cars should be doing it also. And Homesick, no, goes past the pits again. Liam Anfield does go in. Liam Anfield goes in. Koi Cup stays out. And it's all about Talleyrand, isn't it? He's 240 though, isn't it? It's not in it. He wasn't that much of a lively lap. He might have lost touch with Liam Anfield at the moment. So Matt Psycho does get ahead of. And I don't think Jim is going to be in shouting distance to Skyjacker. Skyjacker's still getting the fuel topped up though. Jim's coming through that final chicane, but Skyjacker easily released before Jim gets to Le Sourd, I am sure. Skyjacker's still in the pits though, and there he goes. He's been released, but Jim has to go all the way through Eau Rouge, where Skyjacker, well, he has to be ginger. He can't be pushing it through that outer road because it's going to be wet. There goes Jim. Jim does get the position, and I think that is Talleyrand. Skyjacker staying out a little too long, just a wee little bit too long on those intermediate tyres. I know he's doing it for strategy. He stayed out. He got out ahead of Norman's, only just, and Norman's tyres are nice and warm. He's going to be in the biting distance. It's a little damp offline. But Norman's, no, he's had to back out of that one because of the dampness offline, and that saved Skyjacker's hide there. And Ensign Newett's 12 seconds behind these guys. Pat's 30 seconds behind Ensign. And Super Manny is having a bad day at the office. And he qualified, what, 4th? Homesick Alien, still on the inters, being overtaken there by Bazza. And Bazza's in a close race. Who's he in a close race with? Jim? Maybe it's not Bazza. Bazza's in the lead, but he hasn't pitted, that's why, and that's Matt Psycho catching him, sorry. And that's Bazza going in now. He led a lap, though. He led a lap of the 2.5 hour Spa race. And the stats will show that. So, the ballsy move of making that early stop, I thought had cost him too much, but it seems not. He's there, and he's going to have a healthy lead. Bazza, he's not going to get out of the pits, and Jim's going to be back into second. Skyjacker will be trying to catch Bazza out. So these guys, now they're pitting, This is going to be intense, because Liam Anfield did end up just behind Talleyrand. I said he was going to be nowhere near him. And how wrong I was. Talleyrand, whoa, what's going on? Oh, that's a Ensign Newett in the Nissan Longboy, trying to get by. The battle of Talleyrand and Liam Anfield. Homesick Alien still in the pits with Koi Carp. Talleyrand we saw on the straight, and I think Talleyrand is going to take the lead of the Group 3 cars. Oh, possibly not. Did Homesick stay out too long on the meters? They've released him, but I think it's too late. I think Talleyrand, it's going to be tight. If it's not too late, it's going to be tight. Who's that? That's a Group 1 car, I think, driving up the pit lane. Exit. That should be Bazza just out in front of them guys. And I don't know, Skyjacker is up to third, so he got ahead of the Baz. And Homesick Alien has come out behind Liam Anfield. But he's in a bare position. He's not got track position. But fuel, like Talleyrand is half a tank of fuel right now. So Homesick did lose quite a bit to Liam Anfield there. Not pitting earlier. Joker's now up to 12th with Koikarp. Down to 13th, which is what? Oh, for God's sake. 5th. Pace in 6th, but he had some woes early on in this race. And Bendit also getting used to the rain. Meanwhile, Matt Psycho leads 30 seconds. Jim is 7 seconds ahead of Skyjacker, who's 6 seconds getting... Skyjacker's short fill. Because I didn't think he didn't. Well, Skyjacker... I thought he'd stayed out too long, like the Baz. Now behind Ensign Ewart. But Ensign Ewart halfway through... What's going on with the cameras? Ensign Ewart halfway through his fuel. Tyres are holding up. Bazza on his outlap. Set of softs, Pat. Also on a set of softs, 30 seconds adrift for those guys. But he's just done his fastest lap of the race. And he's got Super Manny chasing him down, who's also going faster. They're about the same pace, them two, at the moment. And ironically, it's a pace car holding up a pace car. And there you go. Superman gets by KLM pace. Talleyrand, the leader, shocking leader. I didn't see that coming, especially when I was seeing him spinning multiple times after his pit stop. But he somehow smashed it. Liam Anfield a close second. It's all about the pitting the earlier, wasn't it? Homesick Alien, it's not terrible for him. He's got a full tank of fuel. And he gets to sit behind them and just find his dry lines. He's got 15 seconds back from Jokers, who's got Koikarp catching him. 3.6 seconds behind. So Jokers did a 2:23 last time, quite competitive. But he can't make any mistakes. 22.3 that time. And Koikarp yet to set a time that hasn't been an outlap. Pace, 20 seconds behind Koi. Like I said, it's a very long race. There's still a lot can happen in this race. The leader's on lap 12 of 75. Still a long way to go. So Matt Psycho gets fastest lap of the race. 31 seconds ahead of Jim, who's 9 seconds ahead of Skyjacker. He's got 7.5 seconds on Norman's. He's 10 seconds ahead, but this is the battle. Bazza, the Bazinator, catching up. Ensign Ewart, that looks like he's catching up. The Group 3 car. I'm just thinking if I can recognise that Group 3 car. Oh dear. Ensign Ewart's lifted. Oh, and now Bazza's had to lift for... Is it Bandit? I think they've come across Bandit on the track. Bazza went for it for a second, but then realised it was fruitless. There was nothing there to be had, so he took it back. Matt Psycho leads 31 seconds from Jim. Skyjacker on the comeback. He's chasing down Jim now. Jim, he pitted a lot earlier. He's used a quarter of a tank of fuel up, and he's racing soft, so not even nearly scrubbed in. So Skyjacker chasing it down at 2:02 last time around. Norman's 2:03.9, so not quite the pace of Skyjacker. Ensign Ewart trying to stave off the Baz, who did a 2:02 that last time around. He's absolutely flying, and the Nissan on the medium tyres, I'm afraid, doesn't have much of an answer. It's 2 seconds off of the pace per lap, and Baz is going to be easily through and chasing after Norman's pretty soon. Or possibly not. He's making a meal of it, isn't he? Come on, Baz, get by him. What are you doing? It's getting dark in here. I'm going to turn the lights on. There we go. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at what these what the donation things going on. Hey, what's what we're here for? What it's all about. He says, I'm not finding it. I'll find it. Don't you worry. I know what I'm doing. I found it. Just giving it. Ooh, £540, people. We had a £500 we wanted to hit. And it's bumped up to 540. So that's fantastic. That's fantastic stuff. That's better than we could have hoped. And on the Just Giving page it says, thanks for taking the time to visit my Just Giving page. Virtual Racers Club are raising funds for charity again, this time for Cancer Research UK, as suggested by VRC Thingamajig. Cancer affects all of us at some point in our lives, directly or indirectly. So helping doctors and scientists create the tools to battle this horrible illness is in all of our interests. All donations are greatly welcomed and appreciated. And it's requested that all the drivers that take part donate £10. And it is for an amazing cause, so that's why we're fully behind it. I mean, the total's raised £540, but with gift aid, it looks like an extra £102 on top of that to us. So superb. And that's why we're here. Because, yeah, I suggested we did a charity race for cancer, because I found out last November I had skin cancer. So now we've got it all cleared up and gone. Then Pays in the chat saying greetings from Intulo. Hey Intulo, I haven't seen you race for ages. Driver NPDP. Wish a great race to all, great league, great event and cause. Cheers. Hey birds, we've still got loads of good racing going on. Get yourself over. Miss you, man. So what's this? This is like lapped cars on lapped cars on lapped cars, I think. That's Super Manny, who's down in 8th place. That's Matt Psycho, who's trying to get a lap done on him. He's done a 1:59, and I think that was Homesick Alien, who was in the midst of all of it, in 3rd place in class. Oh, for God's sakes, there you go, 3rd place. Homesick Alien, trying to stay way out of trouble. And Liam Anfield's got past Talleyrand. I'm sorry, all that talking about charity, wasting our time talking about charity. And Liam Anfield, 2:19.0 last time out. Talleyrand 2:19.3. Did a 21 before that. Oh, and a 19. So, yeah, it looks like Talleyrand have made a bit of a mistake now. The lap cars coming through thick and fast here. And that has got to be one freaky, freaky show when you're driving. It really has. Sat on board the leader of Group 3's Liam Anfield, and there you go, there's a Group 1 going by, and he's thinking, is that it? How close are the Group 1 cars? They're not that close, don't get excited. That's a lap, that's a car lapping another car, lapping another car. It's like the internet making the internet, and people make people. Matt Psycho then absolutely pulverising it. He's taking it into the 59s now. Jim in 2nd place, 30 seconds behind the leader, and he's distanced himself a little bit more from Skyjacker. This is turning into quite an interesting race for him because there's different strategies going on here. And that's Jim going past Jokers. We'll get down to the Group 3 cars in a second. Skyjacker then is sitting in 3rd, 16 seconds. He's pulled a big chunk of time out on Norman's. That was 7 or 8 seconds the last time we checked. And Norman's doing 2:06s and 03s, where Skyjacker's lifted it, raised it to 2:01s. And Ensign Newart's still ahead of the Baz, surprisingly. I'm shocked. But yeah, the Nissan GTR-LM is still staving off the Baz. And Pat not catching them too much in his Toyota with Super Manny just getting lapped by Matt Psycho, 7 seconds behind Pat. So he is gaining. Lost time on that last lap, remember, because he was getting lapped. But now all the cars are gone, you can crack on. Liam Anfield's leading the championship, the Group 3 cars. Only a second, though, from him and Talleyrand. It looks like them two are having a cracking race at the moment. And it's all cleared up, no rain to be spoken of. And Homesick Aliens joining the party. Look at this. It's getting tight at the top of the Group 3 chase. The Gen X closing in on Liam Anfield and Talleyrand. Talleyrand getting to the end of his stint. Liam around about halfway through his stint. And Homesick Alien barely touching his stint. Jokers 27 seconds behind those bad boys. 3.5 seconds ahead of Koikap. Jokers 23 last time around, but I think I saw a car putting a lap on him. And a 22 for Koikap. I think the oscillations in the lap times is down to them being lapped. Oh, pace. I thought someone was just spinning there. No spins. So pace, 9 seconds behind Koikap on lap 14 for him. Just doing a 2:18.4, so that was a lot faster than what Koikap was going, wasn't it? Yeah, Koikap's in the 20s, so at this pace, KLM is going to get you. No, he's going to catch him. Oh, I'll look at Bendit. Sorry, I wasn't ignoring you, Bendit. It was just, I didn't know if you wanted us to be looking. There you go, Bendit. It's 2:19, so Bendit's faster than Koikap at the moment. And he's finding his pace a little late in the game. But still, I mean, the clock says 35 minutes, so it should be still an estimated 2 hours. Didn't want that corner. Did Bendit. So Matt Psycho, 34 seconds ahead of Jim. Jim's 9.5 seconds ahead of Skyjacker, who's 19 seconds now ahead of Normans, and Bazza is through. Bazza has gone past itself. Oh, those tyres look painful there. So let's have a look at the Talleyrand battle. No, we won't. Oh my gosh, as we come to it, Liam Anfield just flew off the track. How bizarre. And where's Homesick Alien? Homesick Alien's gone through. Liam Anfield, that was so weird. It just came. Did I do that? Did I do that coming to him? Wow, that's so bizarre. We'll see it again, shall we? Because that looks so bizarre. So we're watching Liam. He's being caught by... Was it a curb? It's a little bit on the... Yeah, I think it was the curb. I think the curb was still a little damp. And that cost Liam his lead. Unbelievable stuff. Oh, wrong. Come on. I'm just hitting buttons in hopefully now. So Talleyrand now leads this race. He's 1.8 seconds ahead of Homesick Alien, but he's going to have to make a pit stop pretty soon, where Homesick Alien's just going to keep on cracking on. Liam Anfield now in third, 11 seconds behind Homesick Alien, and Jokus, excuse me, only 9/10 ahead of Koi, but pace is going to be catching. He's done another 2:18, whilst Koikap and Jokus are doing 20s. So pace, you can see him down the road. It's not that far away. He's getting the toe off of Bazza. Bendit, glorious looking car, beautiful stuff. Racing the BMW around here. 21 last time around. Missed out on Radion. Has he broken one of his lights? It looked like one light was on down there. 36 seconds. He's doing just nice 159s, racking them off. Just ticking the boxes is Matt Psycho. Jim, though, starting to get purples. It'll be a tough one to try and catch up Matt Psycho without the aid of rain or punctures or something. Skyjacker. He's chasing after Jim. He's doing similar times as Jim. Jim's used a bit more fuel up than Skyjacker. And Matt Psycho, he did pit the earliest, so he's going to be into the pits soon. So it's not foregone. Not got a foregone conclusion because he's out of sync with his pit stops. Normans. And we saw at Daytona with Talleyrand easily led, but Matt Psycho caught him up at the end there. because Talleyrand's pit stops were just a bit uneven. So Matt Psycho, he may have pitted to get onto those softs early, but he's put himself at a disadvantage of options to do later in the race. Norman's getting a lap on Liam. Liam's having a nightmare now since he's off. He's just keep having them. It looked like he was off again. Baz is up into 5th. Pat's in 6th, so Ensign must have made his pit stop. He has. He's gone for hard this time and not as much fuel. Talleyrand still leads, but Homesick Alien is on his case, ladies and gents. And the old leader of this race, Homesick Alien, is ready to retake the lead again. And like I said, Talleyrand is getting to the end of his stint. Would it be worth him racing too hard and slowing himself down? Because now he's got to be thinking of Liam Anfield, whom is 16 seconds behind him, but with a bit of a pit advantage to himself. Well, he's still there. And that Gen X looking menacing in the rear view mirror of Talleyrand. And Liam Anfield 16 seconds away, and Coy's through and past Jokers as Homesick tries a bold move around the outside of Lesueur. And does he get it to work? Does he? Eck. Talleyrand still maintains position going up to Rouge, but it was bold. It was bold from the Alien. He fancied it. He held it, but I think he had to lift when he was on the curbs. And there they go through Raniel. And yeah, now Homesick will get a lovely tow all the way along. Was it Blanchimont? No, I don't know. I'm not going to keep saying it because I'm wrong half the time. I think that's Kemmel Straight anyway. Again around the outside. It's the only way he's going to be able to take Talleyrand, but he puts him on the inside here. And is that it? No, because Talleyrand's got the inside. It's side by side all through that section of corners. And the Group 1 car of Norman just whips on by. That was special. That was special. Where's Norman's? Sorry. Norman's in-car replay. Here we go. We see the two battling Group 3 cars ahead. Norman's thinks, what do I do? What do I do? I'm going there. Unbelievable. Great stuff, Norman's. Very good. Oh, sweet. Sweet stuff. So, where was I? Talleyrand and Homesick's battle, that's it. And all these Group 1 cars want to get by, but they're racing, man. They're racing. I think that's, who's that? Jim? I think that is Jim. Come across them. It might not be Jim. And Homesick. Backed off a little there, I think. Let the Group 1 car through. He didn't need to. He's lost a bit of time to Talleyrand. Now let's have a look at Liam's woes down there in 11th. 16 seconds ahead of Coy. He was only just got himself past Jokers. Jokers can't get out of those 20s, unfortunately. Coy car starting to get into the 18s and the 19s. Pace in the 17s now, and only 3.6 seconds behind Jokers. And that might be why Coy Carb got a little hurry up on, maybe realising the South African was starting to catch him. And then we've got Bendit down there. He's all over with his lap times. I'm not sure if there's issues with his wheel, maybe, possibly. Matt Psycho, no issues going on there for Matt Psycho, but he is coming, like I said, to the end of his stint. We're on lap 21 of 75 here. A 2.5 hour race is predicted. And Jim chasing down this guy. So let's go back to the Talleyrand Homesick battle. Homesick back in the action again. Back on the tail of Talleyrand. And these Group 3 cars are looking very lively at this phase in the race. Homesick Alien on a fresher set of soft tyres. So Talleyrand doing an amazing job holding him off. But and again, Homesick having to opt for the outside line. And he doesn't have to put up with it for too long now because Talleyrand's fuel is flashing. Homesick again around the outside. And these guys just having fun, isn't they? There's a yellow flag ahead of them. Unsure who that could be. It's Bend It at the moment. Bend It, Send It. Too hard. And that's the leaders through. Talleyrand still. For God's sake, Talleyrand still ahead of Homesick Alien. Homesick Alien will be revving up this straight to try and get by. And Talleyrand, though, will be into the pits. Pretty sure at the end of this lap. Maybe he'll try and eke another lap out of that Beamer. Homesick Alien all up and in his business, waiting patiently, it has to be said. He's tried a few outside moves, but he hasn't really been doing any harsh dives. And there you go, Talleyrand into the pits, and Homesick Alien retakes the lead of the Group 3 class. And Liam Anfield, he doesn't need to pit for a while yet, so he'll be hoping to try and get back ahead of Talleyrand somehow in the strategies. Skyjacker 13 seconds. He's lost time to Jim. Jim in the zone. In the zone is Jim. Matt Psycho getting very close to the end of his stint. I know I keep saying it. I sound like a broken record. Bazza's caught Norman's up. Bazza's on fire. Whoa, my Bazza's on fire. Oh, my Bazza's on fire. Go on, Baz. Although Norman's, it's good to see. New, fresh blood. Fresh blood racing hard. But Norman's was on an unbelievable pace earlier. I don't know what's going on. If he's fuel saving, possibly. Skyjackers, all similar fuel loads. Oh, and Bazza's dropped it. Oh, my Bazza's not on fire. So Jimbo, he's caning it. Look, he's just broken into the 59s for the first time. The sun is looking glorious here at Belgium. And how far behind Pat? Pat's 55 seconds. And Ensign Newer is 25 seconds behind Super Manny. Super Manny's not looking like he's ready for a pit stop just yet. He's only 6 seconds behind Pat. Pat did a 2:04. Pat's pace not great at the moment. Next to some of the bloody cameras are really playing up. Super Manny's doing 2:02s. But he did 2:14, so I think he just dropped behind Pat, in all fairness. And there we see Quick Up being lapped again by Super Manny. Homesick Alien leading by 12 seconds, so Liam Anfield's pulled in a bit of time to the Alien. Did 2:18 last time around. Alien doing 21s. I think Alien is, if you ask me, and we know he can do faster than 21s, a lot faster than 21s. I think he's looking after that fuel. I think, he did 2:18 then, so maybe not. Maybe the 21s was when he was racing Talleyrand, which probably makes sense. Talleyrand came out of the pit. Sorry, that's what you want to know, isn't it? That's what I should have been on. He's behind pace by 50 seconds. You lose a lot of time in a pit stop here. No wonder those guys didn't want to pit as early as the other guys when it was wet. Pace. He's coming to the end of his stint now. And he's only four or so seconds behind Koikar. He's gone out wide. That could be it. Pace is coming around that corner. And Koikar could be in trouble here. Coming up towards Eau Rouge. And Pace is going to get you. KLM is going to get you. Sun beating down on that track. Temperatures high on the tarmac as they are in the race. And at the moment, Pace 1.4 seconds behind the BMW M6 of Koikar. But unfortunately for KLM Pace, it's coming to the end of his stint. His fuel started flashing. So by the time he gets to tag the back of Coy, and then we're going to have a Group 1 car coming through again, it looks like. It's so joyous. We're staying right here. See how quickly it comes. That blue flag comes on really early because I can't even see anything in his rear view video. What we're going to call them in the future if they're not rear view mirrors. Rear view screen. Here it comes, Skyjacker, whoosh. On your left. Skyjacker. Whoosh. On your right. Oh, not so easy. He's lost Koi Kart time. He's lost Koi Kart time. And now Pace is going to go in for the attack. And someone else has slowed right down there and has bent it. And that really screwed Koi Kart up. Oh no, he got out of the way. But all a little too late. And Pace is through and ahead of Koi Kart. And that is all just unfortunate circumstances that's put Koi Kart there. Unbelievable. So Pace gets that position by a look, by a bit of luck. And Bazza, 3.5 seconds behind Normans. And we're looking for Homesick Alien, who he's doing 19s. I think Liam's a little faster, but I think Liam's burning through fuel and tyre. He's into the 220s now, where Homesick's now topped it up to 219s. Pace into the pits. We said we thought Pace, and Koi's followed him in. He's followed him in as well. Talleyrand pitted a couple of laps ago, so he'll be looking to get them 2 positions easily. Joker's 27 seconds. He was racing Pace, wasn't he? So he might be in the shout there. He's pitted recently. He's put softs on. Bendit's into the pits. But it looks like he's got fresh. So he might be in to retire. Unfortunate. And Matt Psycho then leads the race as he comes across Talleyrand on track. And Matt Psycho brings it into the pits. And it's race on now. What is everyone else going to do? Jimbo's found himself a bit of traffic there with the Group 3 leader. And now he's got, is that Superman ahead of him? In the chat, Kalen saying, the light's about to go. Oh, I am so sorry, man. I am so sorry. That's why you've gone into the pits, I take it. So KLM, we're going to be saying goodbye to pretty soon. Skyjacker there, 16 seconds. He's putting a lap on the Talleyrand, sorry, not the no, Liam Anfield, sorry. He's chasing down Jim. Normans still in that battle with the Baz. Great stuff from them two. Pat ahead of Supermanny, but Supermanny's catching. And is that Ensign? No, that's just one of the leaders, obviously. That's Matt Psycho, is he? No, he's in the pits. So it must be Jim. Putting a lap on Supermanny, who's trying as he might to race Pat. Through Rouge, a little bit faster than Jim's. Coming back at Jim. He wants Superman, he's through. Superman, he's through on Pat. Unbelievable move there. Unlapped himself from Jim. Used the toe from Jim. Unlapped himself and then got by Pat. Cracking, and now I guess he's going to probably pull over and let Jim through. Jim's leading this race at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. And there you go, Supermanny perfectly used Jim to get a slipstream up against Pat and then gives the position straight back to Jim. Unbelievable. Oh, and Jokers not realising there's 3 of the buggers coming past. Matt Psycho out of the pits in 3rd place alongside Ensign Newer, but he's a lap down. He's Ensign Newer at the moment. And that was unbelievable. Cracking stuff. Pat then chasing down Supermanny. And then we've got Homesick Alien leading the Group 3 cars, 16 seconds ahead of Liam Anfield, who's a minute nearly ahead of Talleyrand. He did get those positions from Pace and Koi. Koi, 25 seconds ahead of Pace. Pace was in the pits a long time. I think he was waiting for lights out. Or maybe he's had a big spin on this lap. It's 3 minutes, yeah. I'm not sure. Jokers, 10 seconds down on those guys, and Bendit, I think, has parked it. And Pace in the Atenza now. He's finding his teammate in the Group 1 car coming across his rear derriere again. And he's being chased down with Pat, so he doesn't want to be messing around. Does Supermanny, because it's race on up here between Supermanny and Pat. Very close indeed. Pace trying to stay out of it best he can. And Supermanny Cracking little move, wasn't it, from Super Manny, I've got to say. Homesick Alien still leads the Group 3 cars, with Liam Anfield in second. Talleyrand is in third, only 6.7 seconds ahead of Kuykap. So I think Talleyrand's lost a bit of time somewhere in amongst all those pit stops. Pace is just waiting for lights out where he's at, and it hasn't happened yet. And Joker's 10 seconds behind him. Lap 26 of 75. We're coming up to an hour now. We've got another hour and a half to go. And we've had a cracking race. Jim's leading at the moment. He's still got a bit of fuel. His tyres are perfect. Skyjacker as well. Good amount of fuel. Now, this is where Matt Psycho may... his race may fall apart a little bit. He's got great pace. But where he pitted so early to go onto the softs, in the wet, now he's found himself on the back step from Jim and Skyjacker. Well, I say the back step, they're going to pit and he's going to be back in the lead again. Norman's still keeping Bazza at bay. The sun's going down on us here at Spa, and we'll see a little bit of night racing. We've had a bit of everything today, ladies and gents. We've had it in the wet, we've had it in the dry, now we're going to have it in the dark. Beware. So we're watching Bazza racing Normans at the moment. He's closing in on the Finnish driver. You got to remember the Finnish driver, not much practice, stepped in last minute to help us out. Well, not to help us out, there was a spare space. He was offered it, he wanted it. Great, get another tenner. Because Racer Brown's still paying, he said he will. He said it, so now he can't take it back. So Racer Brown, we get a double. We've doubled up on admin. On admission. So Bazza all up and in Norman's business now. And it's the Toyota. I'm pretty sure what they're driving. Okay. I think he's in a Toyota, but I don't want to say. Not Baz. I know he's in a Porsche. Whoa, Baz! Oh dear, Baz. I don't know what happened there, my friend. So here we go, Baz coming down the inside. I think he just braked a little early. Ooh, just from nowhere, seems to fly, didn't he? Jesus. So Bazza, he's been on fire today. It's unfortunate. Jim's leading, but his fuel's still white. So not looking for a pit stop yet. Kalen has left. The lights out at his district in South Africa. So yeah, Kalen unfortunately unable to make the whole race due to power shedding, and yeah, it's a high probability that us in the UK will be doing some of that next winter. So that's a little look into the future for us UK residents. Put some more windmills up. So Norman's getting a lap on one of the Group 3 cars. Bazza back on the push, and look how dark it got very quickly. Super Manny pulling away from Pat now, and Ensign at 41 seconds adrift of Pat, and he's just having fun in the long boy. So Homesick Alien leading this race by 19 seconds, and we thought he was looking after that fuel a little bit. He's still got a fair whack to go in that tank before he needs to pit. Liam Anfield 19 seconds adrift. It's going to be a tough one for anyone to fight that, and Liam's come to the end of his stint. More than likely will be pitting at the end of this lap. There he goes, I think. That's him driving off into the pits. And Talleyrand in 11th will be eyeing that up, but he's nearly a minute and 10 seconds behind him. How much do they lose within a pit stop? Probably about that. Now it's just yellow and white headlights overtaking each other. This is going to be cracking. So that's Talleyrand. Those yellow lights. There you go. You can quickly see in his car. And Koikart chasing him down in the other Beamer. Only 5.7 seconds behind. He did a 2:19.2 last time out. Talleyrand a 2:20.9. So Koikart could be a threat at this point in the race. Talleyrand with more fuel as more Group 1 cars go through. Koikart. Liam Anfield is into the pits, and Talleyrand, what is that mean to him? Bend it back out again. Wants to have a go in the night time. Jim still leads this race. Jim is having an absolute blast, although this will be his last lap. Can't see that fuel lasting much longer for him. Skyjacker still with a fair whack of fuel there. Has he been fuel saving? Has he been driving tactfully? He lost a big chunk of time on lap 26. But you might find that as they put laps on the Group 3 cars, as you see again. Another is Talleyrand this time. And Skyjacker goes by without issue. Matt Psycho in third, made that recent pit stop. And he's 5 seconds behind Skyjacker. Still race on. Kaylin in the chat saying, lol, oh well, thanks South Africa. Don't worry, we'll be joining you, mate. We'll be joining you come this winter. We'll be doing streams, and it'll be part A and part B, because we'll have to stop for a couple of hours in between races. Oh dearie me. The people, I always wondered when I looked around my classroom that one day these people will be in charge of us, and then we're doomed. And that day has come. That day has come. My peers were never suitable to run this country. So Normans, he's in fourth, ahead of Baz. Baz was 8 seconds behind him though, so Baz has dragged it back, kicking and screaming towards Normans. Pat is back ahead of Super Manny. Super Manny hasn't pitted, so Pat has pulled off another move. We're missing all that racing, and Ensign Newer is 40 odd seconds adrift of those guys. Homescaling still leads, and Talleyrand did get ahead of Liam Anfield, and so did Coy. Coy having a blinding one, up into third place now, and that's Liam Anfield down in fourth. Interesting stuff. Jimbo's into the pits. Skyjacker, he can eke a little bit more out of that car, but he has got Matt Psycho catching him up very fast indeed. That's awful, that one. So on board with Matt Psycho as he catches up with Skyjacker. Jimbo's into the pits to replenish his fuel, and I wonder if he can get out ahead of Normans. I'm sure he can. I wonder if the game can do rain and night time at the same time. We've still got a long way. We're not even halfway through this race yet. Lap 30 of 75 for the Group 1 cars. And we're sat on board with Matt Psycho in the dark here at Spa. And you can see in front, one of them cars is Skyjacker. I'm not sure which one. I don't think that is that Sky. No, that's Super Manny that we're putting a lap on. Jesus, pick it out. Then we've got a white one, which is Pat. We'll squirt through that corner from Matt Psycho. We've got to put a lap on Pat. Look how hectic it is. 2.5 hour race. And this car's all over the shop. Ensign Newart's gone into pit. I think he was last place anyway for all the Group 1 cars. Matt Psycho still not quite catching up with Pat. Binko in the chat saying, good luck guys. And Kaylin saying, hope you got backup power for your freezer thingy. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I'm wondering if you can charge your phone up and then use your phone to power the freezer. So Matt Psycho We're waiting for him to catch Skyjacker up, but Skyjacker had a bit of a reprieve with all that traffic. He's cut through it a little better than Matt Psycho has. So, Skyjacker, his fuel's flashing though, but he decides to stay out for another lap, celebrating on how well he got through the traffic, I imagine. Normans did get ahead of Jim, I did wonder. But Normans is at the end of his stint as well. He's going to be in. Bazza, he's not at the end of his stint, but he's definitely using his tyres up. And Pat still ahead of Super Manny, but Super Manny catching him fast. Enseneur in 8th after his pit stop. Then we've got Homesick Alien, who's ready for a pit stop. And Talleyrand about halfway through his stint. Koikar in 3rd. 8.6 seconds. Liam only 3 seconds behind Coy, so there's some tight racing here. And when Homesick comes out the pits, it's going to be very interesting. We're way off the pitch yet, so we'll look at Liam Anfield. Shall we go in car with Liam? Because you get to see a bit more, don't you, in car? So Liam chasing down Coy Carp in the Beamer. His Jaguar, he's got a fresh set of racing softs on, and quite a heavy tank of fuel there. He's on lap 27 of 75. He's absolutely caning it. Homesick Alien about to pit, we think, at the end of this lap. And he's about a minute or so ahead of Talleyrand. So I don't think Liam was a minute and 10 seconds ahead of Talleyrand and ended up coming out the pits behind Talleyrand. So we're assuming Homesick Alien's going to be slotting somewhere in between Talleyrand, Koikarp and Liam Anfield. It's going to be very interesting, very interesting. We've got to keep up with it. There's Homesick into the pits then, and that's Talleyrand. That's Koikarp, and that's Liam Anfield. Making their way around. Oh, and there's a Group 1 car coming through. I didn't catch. I think it might have been Matt Psycho. Oh, Matt Psycho's in the lead because Skyjack has gone into the pits. So Matt Psycho retakes the lead. Jim is up to 3rd because Norman's also has gone into the pits. Super Manny is in the pits. Pat stayed out in 5th. And Bazza, he stayed out. Goes up to 4th. He's only 2 seconds behind Jim, but Jim has just pitted, in all fairness. And Matt Psycho then back into the lead of this race. And Skyjacker giving us a quick message while he's in the pits. He says, "I'm already hurting. This is intense." You can't drop the ball. You can't drop the baby round here. Well, you can't make a single mistake. Virtually everyone into the pits. Jim pitted earlier, and it looks like he's going to get Skyjacker's position. Skyjacker filling up as Jim comes along the start straight away. And Talleyrand is shown the blue flags. Now what's going on with Homesick Alien? He pitted, he's come out, he's coming out now. Behind Talleyrand, ahead of Koikarp, it is looking like 2 seconds behind Talleyrand. This is tight. How is Koikarp that far back? I thought he wasn't that far behind Talleyrand. And Liam Anfield's spaced out. Oh, Liam Anfield's had a bash. I don't know if Koikarp has. But Homesick only 2 seconds behind Talleyrand. Talleyrand halfway through his stint. And it's very similar to the first stint, isn't it? Koikarp then in 3rd. 8 seconds ahead of Liam, who looks like he's slung it off at the scenery. Jokus ahead of Bendit. Bendit just having a little bit of fun. Matt Psycho 55 seconds ahead of Jim. And Matt Psycho a little earlier into his, a little further into his stint. But still, 55 seconds is very comfortable lead with Skyjacker 31 seconds behind Jim. Baz and Pat both go in the pits. Normans, who pitted earlier, has come through. And he takes that 4th position away from the Baz. Well, he goes a little wide, but he eventually will. No, Baz is out. Sorry, I apologise. Baz in and out before Norman's even got there. Unbelievable stuff from Bazza in fourth. The dude doesn't usually have much luck around his home track here at Spa, but at the moment it's doing well for him. Norman's in fifth, Pat's in the pits. Ensign Hewitt's ahead of Supermanny, but only by 4.7 seconds. All sorts of battling down here. Supermanny's had a bit of an issue. He's carrying a ding on the front of that car. And Ensign Hewitt 1 minute 25 behind Pat. I think Pat's going to get out of the pits fine, but then maybe not, because Supermanny was with Pat and he's behind Ensign Hewitt. So unsure where Pat is going to come out relative to Ensign and Supermanny, because he was racing Supermanny, and Supermanny's 8 seconds behind Ensign Hewitt. Ensign Hewitt coming up to the final chicane, the bus stop. And Pat, he's topping up with fuel. Still topping up with fuel as Ensign Hewitt comes along the straightaway. Pat still topping up. Now they've released him. Ensign Hewitt not quite at Le Saux, and Pat is on the move, but he's restricted to his pit lane speed. And there goes Ensign Hewitt up and into 6th place. And Pat's got some... No, Pat 6th. He's on there. Don't spin it, Pat. Oh, he's lucky we haven't got the restrictors on. But it's very close. Ensign Hewitt's only tenths behind Pat. He's catching him. He's got him. Ensign Hewitt with momentum on his side and a purple sector to put in his cap, and he's come up with he's come over Bendit, and Bendit trying to stay out of the way, and Pat's coming back at Ensign Hewitt as he tries to get past Bendit, and Pat going around the outside on his fresher rubber, and he's really wide now. Remember, Ensign Hewitt's on the hard... No, Ensign's on the soft tyre, I apologise. And Pat's got him. Tenacious in Pat's battle. He's got one on Ensign Hewitt, and Pat winning that mini battle. Supermanny 7 seconds behind him. Let's have a quick look at Homesick, because he was chasing after Talleyrand. He's 3.2 seconds behind Talleyrand. Koikarp 11 seconds back from them, but he's only 5 seconds ahead of Liam Anfield. And then 57 seconds back to Joker. So let's go on board Liam as he's getting blue flags.
Here. How is the race going? I would have loved to join, but unfortunately had other things planned.
Defast TBD saying Mayumi Shectify here. How is the race going? I would have loved to join, but unfortunately had other things planned. Hey bro, it's fine. Ooh, what happened there? Liam Anfield saw something flash in front of him. Someone going to the pits, someone trying to put Group 1, that's Pat. That's Pat racing Ensign Hewitt going the other side. Oh no, Ensign Hewitt's back ahead of Pat, I apologise. Ensign Hewitt back ahead of Pat. Pat though, going for a move now. Cracking stuff between Ensign and Pat. Ensign, that's a massive wiggle on in the middle of a Rouge. That's not going to help him down this straight. Pat's going to be on him. It's going to be all over him. No, it's not too bad for Ensign Hewitt. He got away with it. And I would have got away with it, one for those kids. Again, more cars to circumnavigate for Ensign. One of the Group 3 cars. Pat also going around. Brain freeze on who it is. I think it's Koikarp actually. Talleyrand then leads 2.4 seconds from Homesick Alien. 19.2 last time out, and an 18.5 from Talleyrand. Koikarp losing touch with those guys, but he has just had a bunch of Group 1 cars come flying by him, and Liam Anfield there only 4 seconds behind Koi. And Liam Anfield looking racy now. On board, of course, because you can see better in board. Mayumi in the chat saying, sheesh, the LM Nismo looks unstable. Yeah, he's been having trouble with it, but he likes Big Dan like, oh, someone off the track. Who's that? Is that Coy? That's Coy. That's giving Ensign. That's giving Liam Anfield just what he would like. 3rd place, please. And yeah, Coy off the track. Just had to deal with all those Group 1 cars coming by. Oh, and he's off again. Is it tyres? Could be. Could be the weight. Could be the fuel he's not used to. Oh, and the back end all over the shop. The tyres would be a bit dirty as well from him going off track, and Liam Anfield through and chasing Homesick Alien, but he's 10 seconds adrift. Homesick Alien at 18.2 last time out. Talleyrand at 19.3. So Homesick Alien a little bit faster at this point in the race as one of the Group 1 cars makes its way past the Gen X. Cool headlights, isn't it? Down the side as well. The stripes. Here's another one. Is this Pat and Ensign still having their little battles? Ensign 2 seconds ahead of Pat. He's on a quarter of a tank of fuel. He's trying to get up the inside of Talleyrand, the race leader, and he doesn't want to affect that battle. What with Homesick Alien chasing him down, and he's still not by, but he is now. So the Group 1 car through. Pat making it straight away through, and it's down to 4/10 betwixt the two Le Mans car drivers, 6th and 7th. Look at it, all the way down to 6th and 7th. They battle for everything, these guys. No points for this, just for glory, it's just for fun. And stats, because Pat keeps all the stats. I haven't even looked at any stats. That one is just for qualifying. I'll go back. I'll find them. Don't you worry. I'll find them. I think he sent me stats. Did he send me stats? He must have done. Possibly not. He's all the way down there. No, he didn't send them to me. I can't find them. Is it in the event chat? Nope. What's going on there? Well, I'm missing. I'm looking around for these Pat stats that we had last week. I think they've gone. Oh. Anyway, so Ensign Ewart 2 seconds behind Pat, and like Miami says, that Nismo looks absolutely unstable as hell. It draws up. Right behind someone, but that's not 2 seconds. Oh, is that Matt Psycho putting a lap on those guys? It is. Unbelievable stuff. And what is Superman-y? Talleyrand still leads this race. Come on, find the right button. No, he doesn't. Homesick Alien is. Sorry, I apologise. Homesick Alien by 12 seconds. Did he pit? He had a huge one. Oh my God, Talleyrand had a huge one. Homesick Alien's now the leader. I do apologise. Liam Anfield's back in the fight for 2nd place. Talleyrand only 6 seconds ahead of him, and Homesick has been gifted the lead and a huge chunk of time as well. 12-second lead now. Koikarp's gone to the pits, and Liam Anfield 6 seconds behind Talleyrand. Talleyrand isn't going to be too far behind in the pits. No, he's got a quarter of a tank of fuel, and Homesick Alien leads. Jokus is 2 minutes now behind Koikarp, and these two have found each other on track though, Jokus and Bendit. Matt Psycho nearly a minute ahead of Jim. He's half a tank of fuel, and we are roughly, I'd say, halfway through this race. 37 laps for Matt Psycho on Jim. Skyjacker 12 seconds behind Jim, 45 seconds ahead of Baz, who's 16 seconds ahead of Normans. And the closest battle, Superman-y and Ensign Ewart. But Ensign Ewart's tyres looks like they've given up the ghost, and Superman-y now is chasing down Pat. And I think we're going to sit on board with Superman-y whilst I take a quick breather.
it up, guys.
Wow, just had a quick nap there, a little power snooze. How's it going? What did I miss? Anything? He's pulled away nicely from Pat, and he has super money. Unbelievable stuff. So a quick run through then. Matt Psycho is 1 minute and 3 seconds ahead of Jim. And Jim's 40 seconds, excuse me, ahead of Skyjacker. Skyjacker's 1 minute ahead of Bazza, who's in 4th. Bazza's only 10 seconds ahead of Norman's. Interesting. Their strategy's not too different. Super Manny flying now. He's 1 minute behind Norman's, but he's pulled away from Pat, who's got himself behind Joker's there. Joker's having a bit of a lonely race. He's fallen off the pack somewhat in his Jaguar. Ensign Newer is 1 minute or so he's pitted. That's why he's put medium tyres on again. Homesick Aliens leading 14 seconds the Group 3 cars. Talleyrand's come to the end of his stint, and he's being chased by Liam Anfield, who's in mid-stint at the moment. Koi Carp shows mid-stint with Jokus a lap or so down on Koi Carp now. It's not showing a time. So it's Liam Anfield who's looking like he's going to be the mover and shaker in the next lap or so when Talleyrand comes in. And the Homesick Alien, he's got a long way to go yet. A nice bit of pace to protect himself with. So Talleyrand is where the action is, with Liam Anfield chasing him down. Has he pitted? No, that's Homesick. We're looking at Homesick. That Genesis is damn fine looking car. It has to be said, but that's not who I was looking for. So Talleyrand, he didn't go in. He didn't go in. He's going to eke a couple more laps out of that car and make Liam Anfield sweat a little longer. So Matt Psycho, what can we say about Matt Psycho? He's been faultless. He had a couple. He had a mini spin we saw. when he went to the soft tyres. We thought he'd gone to the soft tyres too early and thrown away an easy win, but it seemed not. His fuel is out of sync with Jim and Skyjacker, but at this rate, I think he's going to have a pit stop on Jim. If he keeps going this way, he's not even that much less fuel, so I don't know if he's fuel saved in this stint. Skyjacker, some 40 seconds behind Jim now, similar fuel levels, and a minute ahead of the Baz. And the closest battle you've got to say is him and Norman's. Norman's coming through some of the traffic. 2:05 last time round. He's not going to catch Bazza that way, is he? Bazza doing it 2:03, 2:02 this lap. And what would Norman's do with the soft tyre coming through? Crossing with a 2:03, so not too much off Bazza's pace, but it's not going to catch him like that. Supermanny making his way through. Wouldn't it be funny if it started raining now? Pat's had a cracking little race, really. He's been racing with Supermanny and Ensign Ewart most of the way. Ensign Ewart seems to have dropped off the face of the world, though. He did just recently pit, but he's not. Here you go. He's a minute 22 behind Pat. And Pat is nowhere near a pit stop, so poor old Ensign Ewart. He's got a lot of race and a lot of pain ahead of him. Homesick Alien leading the Group 3 cars by 16 seconds. Talleyrand still yet to pit. Maybe it's going to be this one. He's got Liam Anfield chasing him down and starting to catch him, I think. There's a lot of cars around, though. A lot of Group 1 cars around. It's hard to pick it out. Talleyrand is already behind him. Oh, he's gone in. He's gone in. There you go. Talleyrand pits in then. Liam Anfield moving up into second place. As we saw a whole heap of Group 1 cars around Liam, but none of them are racing each other. That's Matt Psycho just about to put a lap on, I don't know, one that's got blue colours. Is it Ensign Ewart? Could be Ensign Ewart. Has he got blue bits on his car? He has, yeah, it's Ensign. That Matt Psycho is just catching up. Ensign's on lap 40 of 75. And Psycho's on lap 43 of 75. Not to rub it in or anything. And there he goes, catching up with the Nissan. The Nissan takes to the runoff area to get out of the way of Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho continues on his way to take another win, another Group 1 win. I think he's the most Group 1 winner we've had in the BRC. He absolutely loves them. And Jim, this is a good drive for Jim. I think I read on Pat's old stats, which I've seemed to have lost now. I don't know where they've gone. They're in here somewhere? They're not in there. They weren't in showroom. They're not in the sign-up. Race info. Insurance chat. Don't think they were in there either. Keep going backwards. No, they're not in chat either. Buggering out. Yeah, well, I think I read in that last week that Jim's best position was fourth, I think. So if he can bring that bad boy home in second, and there's no reason not to think he can, because Skyjacker's some 40 seconds adrift. Bazza a minute behind Skyjacker. Him and Norman's having a bit of a race, but Norman's lost a little more time to Bazza at this point in the race. Supermanny, he's a minute behind those guys, but he's really done some great driving because he's pulled 25 seconds out on Pat of recent. And loads of time as Ensign Ewart tries to get a lap on the race leader, I think. There we go. Recognise those headlights. They're damn fine, aren't they? And that's Homesick Alien, 19 seconds ahead of Liam Anfield. Koi Carp is ahead of Talleyrand now. Talleyrand came out 1.5 seconds behind Liam, behind Koi. So we should have some nice racing coming up. 1.3 seconds now, the gap between the pair of them. The two Beamers fighting each other. Liam Anfield in second with Homesick Alien in first. Koikar third, Talleyrand fourth. Matt Psycho leading the Group 1 class ahead of Jim and Skyjacker in third. I believe Baz is fourth with Normans in fifth. Sixth place, I'm going to say Super Manny. Seventh, Pat. And eighth is Ensign Hewitt. Through the bus stop, Talleyrand goes. 1.3 seconds behind Koikarp. Koikarp's last lap, a 2:20.7. And Talleyrand's, oh, it was an outlap, so it's tough to judge. Bendit is back in the pits again. Doesn't look like they're working on that car. And Joker's just continuing on. Cracking. Good sport. Matt Psycho leading 1 minute 10 seconds. He's got a quarter of a tank of fuel left. The tyres are looking absolutely splendid. Jim chasing him down. Tyres newer. He's through half a tank of his fuel now. And similar to Skyjacker, who puts a lap on Talleyrand's. And next up for Skyjacker will be Koikarp. Just there. The two Beamers. He goes off the track to get Koikarp's position. Pushing hard because anything can still happen, you know. We've still got a lot of laps to do. We're on lap 44 of 75. Still about an hour's worth of racing ahead of us. So Skyjacker's still pushing. He said it was intense in the chat when he pitted last. And Bazza as well, they've all got to maintain a certain pace because the person behind them is pushing hard. Super Manny did a 2:10 last time around, but he's 30 seconds on Pat now. Did a 16. I think now the evening's here, the real late evening. The track is absolutely cold as anything, and these guys are just not getting any grip. Homesick Alien at 2:18, he is though. He's doing a super job in that Gen X. Liam Anfield can't make any inroads, and the Jaguar is chewing up its tyres a lot worse than the Gen X is. Koikarp then in fourth spot. Whoa, what's going on here? Talleyrand having to take to the runoff area as he catches up with Koikarp, tries to go around the outside. Koikarp defending hard. He's got to wiggle on as he gets out of the corner, and Talleyrand just sitting and waiting. He's a patient man. He's a patient man. And Koikarp at different stages of his stint to what Talleyrand is. Talleyrand fresh rubber on, heavy car of fuel with Koikarp down to a quarter of a tank of fuel. His tyres are barely used though. That Beamer is good tyres, isn't it? Very good. Not like the Jaguar. It's just up ahead. It's just wrecked its tyres. They must be different Beamers because they've got different headlights. Talleyrand's got like a double headlight thing going on. So I bought, out of the three choices of BMW M6, I bought the Endurance one, and I didn't think either of them are it. Because I didn't look at Talleyrand's livery, in all fairness. Because he had about half a dozen liveries up. I thought he was just having a day of making liveries. I didn't realise one of them was the Spa one. Spa. And now we're getting Ensign Hewitt putting a lap on the two cars ahead. Where is he? There and on board. Has he already gone? No. He's got past one of them. He's got Talleyrand just ahead of him. He gingerly comes around with his racing medium tyres on, and he is through and past the Group 3 car. Check on Liam Anfield, he must be pitting pretty soon. And there we go, Ensign Hewitt clear of the Group 3 cars, continuing to race. Now I've got to find those bloody things again. Here we go, Coy is now behind Talleyrand. Talleyrand got through We missed it. I'm sorry. You guys might not, but I did. Matt Psycho leads. Still plenty of fuel on. He's okay. Jimbo holding ground, really, to Skyjacker. Maybe a little bit faster than Skyjacker at this point. Only 2/10 that last lap. And Bazza pulling slowly away from Norman's. Super Manny. Norman's in a right bunch of cars there. What's that? That's Pat and Super Manny. Are Super Manny and Pat that close together? No, they're not. There's Pat. I don't know what car's just gone through. It's in one of the front runners. It's just a lot of traffic in certain places there. Whoa! Norman's loses the back end. Nearly takes one of the leaders out. Was that the Psycho? Or Jim? I don't know. That Psycho. He seems to be okay. He's not with anyone, is he? So I wonder who was racing with Norman's. Norman's then. Not really in a race with someone, but he's got Pat very close behind him. Is that Pat trying to unlap himself from Norman's? It must be. So Pat, 40 seconds behind Super Manny and a whole lap behind Norman's. Moment. Trying to chase down Bazza, but he's lost a bit more time to Bazza on that lap. 2 minutes. Right then. Homesick Alien, meanwhile, 22 seconds on Liam Anfield. Liam Anfield, his tyres starting to look bitter and twisted. Talleyrand, he's not dropping Koikarp. Koikarp staying with the boss all the way. In the chat, we've got Kalen saying, keep it up, boys. As we're sat on board, the BMW Group 3 car of Koikarp chasing down Talleyrand, half a second in it between the two of them after an hour and 38 minutes of racing. That is pretty stunning. They're both, Talleyrand, Koikarp throwing it off, but that's right, Superman, he can start that out and saying, oh, he's being lapped, just getting out of the way. And Superman then for the pace team through and past the two Group 3 cars. Talleyrand fancies having to go back. Wishes he was in it. Look at the distance. Look at it just disappear down the straight. Unbelievable. Unbelievable pace. Koikarp still there, half a second behind Talleyrand. Is Liam pitting yet? He's not, is he? He's not. He's going on. Wait, is he ready for a pit stop yet? Why would he? So up here we've got Masako 117. His fuel is low though. His fuel is low. He will be in pretty soon. And Jim makes his way. He's pulled steadily away from Skyjacker. Every time we cut to him, I don't know if Skyjacker's trying to save a fuel stop, but it's not working because Jim has got more fuel on than Skyjacker. Bazza, 22 seconds now from Norman's. It looks like he's putting a lap on the Group 3 winner. Super Manny is not gaining anything on Norman's. And Pat, is he still trying to unlap himself from Norman's? He's just gone past. It's not KLM pace, it's got to be home scaling. I'm apologising. And Ensign Ewart still cracking on. He's a minute 10 behind Pat. Home scaling 23 seconds ahead of Liam. Liam's a minute ahead of Talleyrand. Talleyrand waiting for those guys to make their stop. He's pulled away from Koikarp now, 2.4 seconds. Koikarp getting close to a pit stop as well. And Jokas in 5th, I believe. Bendit in the pits in 6th. And that Psycho definitely ready for a pit stop. So we'll have Jim leading the race for a short while. Is this, can he get to the end on this? I don't think he can, you know. Although he's done a fair whack of laps on that fuel tank. So maybe he can make this next stop his last stop. I'm just not sure. not sure, you know. Haven't been keeping count of when they pitted. It's coming across Liam Anfield on track at the moment. Liam Anfield also will be getting himself prepped and ready for a pit stop at some point. Yes, maybe not this lap, but very soon. He's 23 seconds behind Homesick Alien, but I think it's about a minute or so for the pit stops. So he's going to be around somewhere where Talleyrand is. Koikarp's decided to bring it in. This is the time.
I didn't bin it when you was on board with me. I was nudged low legs.
Everyone likes to comment when they're having a pit stop. It's crazy. Koikarp saying, I didn't bin it when you was on board with me. I was nudged, lol. Oh, sorry. Did I say you binned it? I didn't think you had. I thought that was Liam. I thought I was talking about Liam when I cut to him and he just jumped off the track. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying, man. I'm so knackered. I'm fighting my way through this one. It's the cancer. It's left me tired. Donate now. Donate it all. So Liam still not pitting yet. Matt Psycho, we're waiting for a pit stop, and Liam, we're waiting for a pit stop. Talleyrand, he's definitely waiting for Liam to have a pit stop so he can see him. Koikarp's come out of the pits. Only 7 seconds over a minute and 10 behind Talleyrand. 2 minutes or so ahead of Jokas. Don't think Jokas can make an impression on Koikarp at this point. And it's Liam Anfield or Matt Psycho coming in soon. And Matt Psycho, ideal pit stop is get in and get out before Jim can come around. Jim's on a quarter of a tank of fuel, and so is Skyjacker. Matt Psycho's lapping up to third place. That's Skyjacker, I kid you not, that's Matt Psycho. What's he saying? He's 1 minute 59 seconds behind the leader. And that's because the leader is behind him. How bizarre. He's just coming up to put a lap on the leader of the Group 3s. Homesick Alien. There you go. Being lapped by Skyjacker and Matt Psycho. Crazy, crazy stuff. Liam Anfield's 25 seconds behind. And Matt Psycho and Liam still not putting into the pits. Oh, he has now. He has now. So Jim will retake the lead of this race. He's got a quarter of a tank of fuel. Or will he? 1 minute 22 seconds. Matt Psycho might be able to get that in and out before the Jiminator gets there. Homesick Alien, Liam Anfield is waiting for he's on the verge of a pit stop. He's got to go in. He's not going to get that car around again, is he? And this is what Talleyrand's been waiting for. 1 minute 20 seconds behind. And that should be the sweet spot to drop Liam Anfield right out on his lap. And Koikarp making a pit stop recently, dropping a minute or so on Talleyrand. Matt Psycho in. And this is it. He's miles away from the straight, isn't he? Matt Psycho filling up with fuel right now. As Jim, I think he might be too far away, you know. I think Matt Psycho might be able to get back out again in the lead of this race. We're on lap 50, 25 more laps to go. Well, 51 if you look at Matt Psycho. Skyjacker, not close enough to make any attempt at Jim. Matt Psycho still filling up with fuel as he's in the bus stop. Matt Psycho still filling up with fuel as he's on the straight. He's coming up to Le Saux and he's still filling up. Jim around the tight hairpin. And they've released him, but he's limited to pit lane speed. Jim's going to absolutely floor it down this straight. Matt Psycho, it's frustrating for him, but I mean, he's a pit stop ahead of Jim. Jim's a quarter of a tank, but he's going to be pitting. Now the big question is that enough for Matt Psycho to get to the end of this race? I'm going to stick my neck out and say possibly. Really sticking my neck out there and I'm saying possibly. So Jim reeling off some faster sectors for him. He's 3.7 seconds ahead of Matt Psycho. And Matt Psycho on a fresh set of tyres. Although Jim's tyres aren't no slouch, they're looking good. Skyjacker, meanwhile, still in third, a minute behind Matt Psycho now, and a minute ahead of the Baz, who's 45 seconds ahead of Normans. But Super Manny doesn't seem to have gained any ground on Normans, even though Normans has been steadily losing time. Ooh, that's why, because he's got damage at the front, he's got damage at the back. So Super Manny has had a spin somewhere. Pat, nearly a minute behind Super Manny and a minute ahead of Ensign Ewart. Homesick Alien, he's getting ready for a pit stop. Talleyrand is ahead of Liam Anfield. So Talleyrand, it's working out okay for him so far, but I'm not sure. I think he might have to make a pit stop before the end of this race, where Liam maybe possibly doesn't. And Homesick Alien will be pitting at the end of this lap, and Liam Anfield will be looking for Talleyrand's scalp, 6 seconds behind. He's nearly 2 minutes ahead of Koikar. Jokus behind them in fifth. Jim is leading this race from Matt Psycho. But remember, Matt Psycho not that far behind Jim. 3.5 seconds. As Jim continues on, he gets a 59.5 that last time out. He's still got a while for a pit stop to happen. Skyjacker's fuel starting to flash as he finds a bit of traffic with Talleyrand and Super Manny. Got to say, Super Manny's had a great turnaround of a race. It looked like it was all done and dusted for him, and he's pulled himself up past Ensign Ewart and Pat up into 6th place. Skyjacker. There's Bazza's pits. Bazza's going to be out a little bit longer than Skyjacker. He might get that position for a shorter while. Meanwhile, Jim leads from Matt Psycho, 3 seconds. Matt Psycho only just making that pit stop. Pat in 7th, a minute ahead of Ensign Ewart. Homesick Alien's into the pits. Homesick Alien, but I think 1 minute 40 is probably enough to get out ahead of Talleyrand. I think Homesick Alien has bought himself a golden ticket there, and he is going to be quids in the chat then. Tulu saying the great Matt, incredible pilot. He's unbelievable, isn't he? He's unbelievable. So Homesick's in the pits, but like I said, I don't think I think 1 minute 40 seconds is more than enough to maintain the lead, and I'm believing Homesick Alien's going to be leaving the pits, still in the lead of the Group 3 class. Jim, meanwhile, 2.3 seconds ahead of Matt, and Matt Psycho are reeling off those fastest lap times. Not yet, but they're faster than Jim's. Skyjacker in 3rd, still yet to pit. I thought he was going to pit a lap or so ago, but he's still going. Into in the chat saying at work and enjoying seeing you all, guys. Yeah, thanks, man. Hope work's going well. What do you do on a Friday evening? I don't know what that is. So, Jimbo, and you get to watch YouTube. That's a cool job, man. 2 seconds on Matt Psycho. Skyjacker's gone into the pits. Bazza could get that position. Bazza is more than likely going to get that position from Skyjacker, but it's all about the pit stops at the end. I think the sun is starting to come back up again, and we've nearly gone through the night. Normans. Who's on Normans? Pat trying to unlap himself from Normans. And Super Manny, he'll be due a pit stop very soon. And
Right
Pat
leg
is in
right
7th
shoulder sore,
with
blister on right thigh.
Ensign Newer in 8th.
Absolutely living it though.
So Homesick Alien did his pit stop and he did get out ahead of Talleyrand with 16 seconds. Skyjacker in the chat saying, this is getting painful. Right leg numb, right shoulder sore, blister on right thumb. Absolutely loving it though. And Binko saying, pace, night shift workers unite. Yes, that's it. So Homesick Alien pitted back out again ahead of the BMW, who's halfway through his tanks. And I don't know if that's enough for Homesick to get home. It might be. Liam Anfield chasing down, but he's lost time on the boss. Somewhere, somehow. He was 3 seconds behind him, wasn't he? 2:19s is where Talleyrand is. Liam Anfield, yeah, 2:19. Must be this lap. He's dropped a bit of time. And Koikar somehow was in that battle, and he's a minute behind him now. I don't know how that happened. Sun coming up, the glorious Sun, as Jokers comes in for another pit stop. And Bendit is just chilling in the pits while they try and fix something on his car. Jim is leading this race, 9/10 of a second ahead of Matt Psycho, who, apart from a spin on a set of soft tyres on a wet track, has not put a single foot wrong so far in this race. They're coming across, is that Ensign Newer? Yeah, he gets off the track, doesn't want to be part of this battle. Jim also coming across, was that Super Manny? Let's open another drink, because I'm getting a dry mouth here. And Matt Psycho, he doesn't really have to push to pass Jim. He could quite happily sit behind him, especially if that's his final pit stop of the day. There goes Jim into the pits, along with Normans and Bazza. Everyone pitting. Skyjacker pitting the lap before, and Bazza did get that position, but he's had to go in. Is Skyjacker going to catch up, Jim? Jim's only just going in. Skyjacker is on that strut. How's he managed that? How the hell has he managed to get such an advantage on Jim? Jim's not even at his pit lane yet. Oh no, he's further away. Sorry. I thought he was going around the final bit. I thought that was him overtaking. No, he's too far. He's miles behind. That really freaked me out for a second then. Why am I in car? So Matt Psycho leads this race. Jim's gone into the pits. Bazza's gone into the pits. Super Manny's gone into the pits. And Ensign Ewart's gone into the pits. Any more for any more? Oh, look at his tyres. He totally destroyed those tyres. Homesick Alien leads this race by 17 seconds. And Talleyrand 7 seconds ahead of Liam. Liam doesn't seem to have the pace to go against Talleyrand, or maybe he's trying to fuel save. But Talleyrand will have to pit, and then we're unsure about Homesick. Coy Carp's picked up a bit of damage, but he's got a nice fair whack of space from Jokers, as Jokers has just pitted. Matt Psycho leads this race. Jim's still in the pits. He's leaving now, though. Skyjacker nearly 2 minutes behind him. He's got no chance of getting past Jim, as Jim now hits the track. And that rain is a distant memory. Distant memory. And Skyjacker still nowhere near. So Matt Psycho leads by 1 minute 23 seconds. He's almost on 3/4 of a tank of fuel. He's on lap 56 of 75. Only 20 odd laps to go. 19 laps to go. Jim, 1 minute 22 seconds behind Matt Psycho. 1 minute 43 seconds ahead of Skyjacker. That's impressive. It's like he didn't spend time in the pits. Oh, it's this lap where it counts pit stop. Bazza still a minute behind Skyjacker. Nothing's done though. It's easily to throw one of these cars off, and then you get dirt on your tyres, damage, anything can happen. Norman's in the Silver Dream machine, chasing down Bazza, trying to stay ahead of Pat, who's ahead of Supermanny, but Supermanny's recently pitted. Ensign Newart's recently pitted. So Pat, when he pits, what's the landscape gonna look like then? Homesick Alien, 18.3 seconds, leader of the Group 3 class at the moment in the Genesis X. And he's had an absolutely cracking race. Talleyrand, he's had a bit of a race with everyone. No, that's Liam Anfield. What am I doing? Talleyrand's in second. Yeah, no, I thought Coy was close to Liam then. So Talleyrand then in second place. For the fuel, he's going to have to make a pit stop before the end of this race. Liam Anfield, 3/4 of a tank of fuel. I'm not sure. I really am not sure. It seemed like it was ages before they made their first pit stop. So, except for going on softs. The stint in the middle then is what I'm talking about. Bazza getting a lap on Koi Carp, giving him a gentle poke as he makes his way past. But he's not going to catch Skyjacker up. But you never know. You never know. Never say never. Matt Psycho, 1 minute 26 second lead on Jim. As Jim goes by, is that Bazza? It's 51 seconds ahead of Skyjacker. Yeah, it was Bazza. Had to back off then to let Jimbo through. But Norman's too far back to be able to make an impact on that. And Pat further 45 seconds back, but he's got to come into the pits. And Supermanny will easily get that position back. Ensign Newart's dropped right off their pace. He was in the race earlier, wasn't he? Supermanny, is that him? No, that's Pat going in. And that's Supermanny then putting a lap on Ensign Newer as he's soon to get the position from Pat. Cracking driver. Well, I'm saying that. Yeah, he should get the position from Pat. It takes a long time for a pit stop round here. And that's Supermanny going past and his braking mark to try and get past the BMW of Koi Carp. It's a good camera. So Supermanny making a bit of a hash of that, but the main aim is to get past Pat, who's only just got to his pit window, and now Supermanny gets the move done on Koi Carp. And he's back behind Ensign Newitt somehow.
Approaching 66 go. Great race.
So Homesick Alien's 20 seconds ahead of Talleyrand, who's 9 seconds ahead of Liam Anfield, who's a minute and a half ahead of Koi Carp, who's a lap or two ahead of Jocus. Bandits parked in the pits, and Matt Psycho is having himself both Matt Psycho and Homesick Alien are having themselves an absolutely flawless race. And Vicky Wiseman in the chat saying, go Jim 66, go. Great race. He's having a great race, it has to be said. In second place, Jim 66, and he's flying. He's absolutely flying there. 49 seconds ahead of Skyjacker, the only fly in his possible ointment so far in this race. We are 2 hours on the clock, 2 hours of racing, and the only DNF that we've had is KLM pace, and that was due to power shedding, power cutting that they're doing in South Africa. So it's been quite a good, stable lobby. I don't want to say too much too soon. And 17 laps left for Matt Psycho as Jim brings it on home. Sun out and spin jackers out. There you go. Sun's out, get your spin jacker out. That is what Basil wants. Basil wants more of that. And they're incommunicado with each other. So I'm sure Basil will be laughing in his hero right now. Hoping Spinjacker has a few more returns. Norman's 55 seconds adrift of the Baz. And like I say, for a last minute addition, Norman's has done amazing in the Group 1 Porsche. And there's that Skyjacker recovering from his spin. It is. Norman's thinking about unlapping himself in this race. But Skyjacker floors it and leaves Norman's behind. Supermanny a minute behind Norman's and 44 seconds ahead of Pat. Pat recently making a pit stop. And he's now a minute ahead of Ensign Newer. I was going to say, every time I see him, I said he's just about to get a lap put on him from Supermanny. I don't think Supermanny's bothered going past him. He's probably just thought, do you know what? I'll just sit here, make me fuel last to the last stint. As long as he stays ahead of Pat, he's never going to catch Norman's. So maybe he's thought, I'll sit behind the Nissan and fuel save for a short while. Matt Psycho flying in the Porsche Hybrid. Jim in second place with Skyjacker in third, slipping a little further away from Jim, but Bazza not close enough for him. And Bazza getting a lap put on him by, who do we reckon that, Jim? It is Jim. Jim lapping up to fourth place. Cracking stuff. That's what endurance racing is all about. Norman's then in fifth. What's going down with the Group 3 cars? Homesick Alien, 21 second lead at the moment as Skyjacker puts a lap on him. It's cars out of place all over the place. You know, there's Norman's going past Homesick Alien. But when it all boils down to it, Homesick Alien is 21 seconds ahead of Talleyrand, but Talleyrand getting closer and closer to a pit stop. Liam Anfield, he's 8.5 seconds. He's sort of held ground behind Talleyrand, hasn't he? 2:20 and 2:19. And what's Talleyrand's pace? 2:20, 2:19. Homesick Alien, 2:18s, 2:17s. Homesick Alien absolutely pulverising the rest of the fields. Koikart, was he recently pitted? Ooh, he had a tough lap, that last lap. He'll be letting Jokers get back into it again. Whoa, the BMW does not look happy at this point. And Jokers, though, is a lap behind Koi, it seems. There you go. Matt Psycho, 1 minute 30 seconds ahead of Jim. Jim is 58 seconds ahead of Skyjacker, and Skyjacker is 1 minute and 4 seconds ahead of the Baz. Norman's is 58 seconds behind Baz. Supermanny 1 minute and 14 seconds behind Norman's. Pat is 48.4 seconds behind Supermanny, and he's just about to be lapped by Skyjacker and Norman's. Whoa, he went on the curb. But it's all good. It's all good. No harm, no foul there. And Norman's gets that inside line. And the job is done, I think. Yes. Ensign, what a struggle of a race poor old Ensign's had in that monstrosity of a car. Do you know what? Even if he shared his livery, I don't think I would have bought that car to put it on it. I spent $3 million. I spent $3 million on bloody the Porsche so I could do some fancy livery views. 3 million credits, that is. It's not real money, I know, but still, even 3 million pretend money hurts. Where are we? Home Segalian then. So who was it who was going to pit soon? It was Talleyrand coming close to the end of his stint. And Liam Anfield keeping a track. There it is. The fuel flashing now for Talleyrand. Talleyrand then waiting to make his pit stop. Liam Anfield will be happy to see him going in, I'm sure. He's still got half a tank of fuel left. I can't work out if they're going to have to make another stop or not. They might have to, some of these. Talleyrand still not gone in though. Going around again. Matt Psycho 1:36 ahead of Jim. And he's doing regular 59s in that Porsche. And it doesn't like there's anything's going to stop him now. Don't stop me now. I'm having such a good time. I'm having a ball. Don't stop me now. So Matt Psycho then destroying the rest of the field. Jim having one of his best endurance races he's ever had in the VRC before. I don't want to curse it, but he is still consistently pulling away from Skyjacker, who's coming to the pits. Interesting. He said he was in pain, and maybe it's it. Maybe it's done. Maybe he's got to park it. Maybe he's had to call it from a podium position. He said his right leg hurt, his bum's numb, his arm hurts, he's got blisters on his blisters, and Skyjacker then coming in. Is it a pit stop? It's an unscheduled stop if it is a pit stop, or is he having a comfort break, having a rest? But Bazza will be wanting to know, because that is going to put Bazza in the plush seat for a podium on his home soil. What a story that would turn out to be. No, Skyjacker, it was just a pit stop. Interesting. He's back out again on the move. A new set of racing softs, a little bit of fuel. Maybe that is it for him for the end of the race. Maybe he just thought he'd do his little splash and dash early doors. It hasn't brought Bazza that much closer to him either. He didn't lose a lot of time in that pit stop. How weird. Excuse me. Norman's 52 seconds behind the Baz. The Baz 40 odd seconds behind Skyjacker, who made a very strange unscheduled stop. And now his fuel is pretty similar to Jim. So if that's what it takes to get to the end of the race, Matt Psycho is a little short, but I think Matt Psycho can get in and out before the other guys come around. Bazza, yeah, that looks like that's the magic number for fuel. Norman's a little under it, possibly. Supermanny, a little under it. He's been bothered by Ensign Newer, but they're not racing on track. Not racing for position, should I say. They're racing on track, but they're not racing for position. Pat 47 seconds behind Supermanny. Half a tank of fuel. If it's in Skyjacker is the barometer to go by, he hasn't got enough fuel. Ensign Newer loves wrecking a set of tyres in that Nissan. It looks like he might have enough fuel to get to the end. Now it's the Group 3s. What is it? Talleyrand made that recent pit stop. Oh, he's just made it? Or has he been in the pits that long? Felt like ages ago he went in. I have no idea, you know. So Talleyrand is a minute behind Liam Anfield. Oh no, maybe he went round again. And yeah, he's putting about 3/4 of a tank of fuel, so that must be the magic number. Koikart getting ready for his pit stop. He's got Jokers right on track behind him, but he is a lap behind. And Jokers might not have enough fuel on board as Koikart comes in. Matt Psycho then, does he have enough fuel? Everyone else has got about 3/4 of a tank. So I'm thinking Matt Psycho is a little light. He's a little light on fuel, guys. But it won't matter because he'll be in there and out before anyone comes through. Looking at us, quick up, put a picture on. Is it the track? They're all Tokyo. Don't know, not sure. So Matt Psycho leads from Jim. Skyjacker in third. Bazza, 26 seconds. Is Bazza going to go for it? Come on, Baz. Baz is on the move. In the chat, Jay saying my lights just came back. They took too long. Hope you good, Thingy. How are the Saffers doing? How are the Saffers? Saffers? I don't know what Saffers are. Dude, if I've said it in the stream, honestly, I'm useless. I never know what I'm talking about. Normans is in fifth. It's Bazza who's catching up Skyjacker at the moment. Super Manny doing super well. In sixth place, he was racing with Pat and Ensign earlier in the race, and he's left them behind now. Oh, way up, he's told me now. And it's going to make me sound really dumb that I should have probably known. Oh, the South African, Saffers. Sorry, yeah, that makes sense. Well, KLM Pace is lights out. An hour into the race, he had to pull out because, you know, power shedding or whatever it is. And, yeah, Superman, he's in sixth. He had a torrid start. It was in the wet. He didn't have a great start, so he's been on the back foot. I think he was one of them that stayed out on the wet tyre for a little too long. And he's been coming back. He's had to get past Ensign Newer and Pat along the way. So he's done all right. He's done all right. Say it was a bit of a ropey start for all of them, though. Homesick Alien, 38 seconds ahead of Liam Anfield, whom is a minute ahead of Talleyrand's. And Koikart, he's gone a little further over than the fuel. So it makes you a little nervous for those guys. But Matt Psycho at the moment, 10 more laps to go. 10 more laps. In my book, that's about 20 minutes. Is he gonna have to pit? He's gone up very wide, trying to get past the leader of the Group 3s. There you go, the two leaders in the same shot there. Not for long, because the Group 1 cars are ridiculously fast and disappear. So Matt Psycho, 1 minute 40 seconds ahead of Jim. The time's not showing up between him and Skyjackers, because Skyjacker made that pit stop. And Skyjacker come to put a lap on the BMW of Talleyrand and of Coy. They're not together on track, are they? Hang on. There's Talleyrand. No, that's Talleyrand putting a lap on Koikart. Jay in the chat saying, load shedding. Good to hear Manny is still moving. Yeah, he's out there. He's shaking it up. He's shaking it up with the Group 1 boys. And there we see Talleyrand putting a lap on Koikart. Koikart slipping it in to try and get a tow. A little extra pace there for himself. The only guy he is racing, though, is the man who's just put a lap on him. But he's on fresher tyres, I believe. Not really, but a heavier fuel load. And now we've got that pesky leader. Is it? No, it's not the leader. It's Jim coming up to put a lap on the Beamer boys. And there's a yellow flag. A yellow flag for who? It's not him. Not him. Not. Oh, no. Skyjacker. And Bazza's going to be getting excited here. We might have a change in the last 10 laps. With Skyjacker making some sort of mistake and picking up damage. He's 25 seconds, 26 seconds ahead of the Bazinator. What can he do? What can the Baz do? Can he get a podium? We said about him getting a podium on his home track, and it could happen if we try and we dream and we wish hard enough. We can make Bazza go third, and if we donate enough, we can get rid of cancer. Remember, that's why we're here. Jay saying, I did remember homesick, asking me to jump in quickly with the Group 1 boys, but he asked just as my lights were going. Oh, gutted. Yeah, we got Normans in the end. Yeah, Racer Brown couldn't make it back. His van broke down, ironically. And there's Bazza letting the leaders through. 13 seconds from Skyjacker, but I think Skyjacker has recovered. And he's back on it again. And on the move, Matt Psycho. He's saving fuel. I think he's saving fuel now. I think he's easily going to get to the end of this race. And, not even showing a time between the top three. That's how spaced out they are. Baz is 15 seconds, and there's only one spin out of it. Normans, our last minute hero, jumped in, taking Racer Brown's place. Not on pole though, starting from the back. There's a yellow flag out there, and it's gone. Supermanny, unable to make an impression on the Finn today, but still had a cracking little race. And Pat ahead of Ensign Hewitt, who's going into the pits. That might have been the yellow flag because he's got damage as well. Homesick Alien versus Liam Anfield versus Talleyrand. And what are we saying about the fuel down here? Talleyrand's on half a tank of fuel. Homesick Alien just over a quarter. Liam Anfield just over a quarter. Koi Carp has got just 3/4 and just a quarter of a tank for Joker. So it's a tough call down here. And the problem is for these guys, they don't really have good reference of how many laps they're going to do. Because like he's showing, Homesick Alien showing 58 laps of 78. But Matt Psycho's on lap 67, nearly 10 laps ahead of Homesick. So when they're trying to choose their strategy, it's kind of guesswork, hoping of how many laps they'll be behind the Group 1 leader. And at the moment, we don't even know. We don't know if it's enough fuel. So Bendit has gone. He sat in the pits for a while. He wasn't happy. I did see a message in Discord saying he was pushed around too much and he didn't enjoy it. So I don't know. I don't know who I didn't see much of the racing with him, but I'm guessing when the Group 1 cars come round, he felt he was manhandled and asked where the driving standards have gone. Yes, which is a shame. So Matt Psycho, a 1 minute 40 seconds lead, just disappeared. Jimbo going past Jokers. Skyjacker looking to keep that podium, but Bazza's on the move. He fancies it. Then we have Normans. And I imagine this race is going to go over. Oh, what's this? Supermanny going past Talleyrand. I imagine it's going to go longer than 2.5 hour race because it started in the wet, so the pace was a lot slower in the beginning. Pat going faster than he's gone before, a 2:03.2. Wow, that sounded really skiddy. I don't know who that was. And Ensign Hewitt chasing down Pat, 1 minute 59 seconds. Homesick Alien is our Group 3 leader, with Liam Anfield in second, 45 seconds adrift. Talleyrand 55 seconds behind him. Koi Carp a lap behind Talleyrand, and Jokus 1 minute 36 seconds behind Koi Carp. I was just thinking, wouldn't it be nice to have a bit of rain? Normans comes in, and Super Manny, well, they're similar fuel. It's similar fuel, so if Normans doesn't think that fuel's going to get you to the end, Normans, don't ignore your lap counter. You are 2 laps down at the moment. Normans has come in, and Super Manny is going to be rubbing his hands here. If his fuel is correct, it's hard to call. So Normans tops up a little bit, very slightly. Let's have a look when he gets to the end of it. He hasn't lost the position to Super Manny yet. Super Manny, though, coming around Lesaur. It's going to be close as Normans lifts off. And I don't know, I think fresh tyres is about it, isn't it? I'm not sure. But Super Manny now only 10 seconds behind Normans, and I'm not sure about Normans' pit stop there. I don't think he put any fuel in, so he must have just wanted a fresh set of tyres. Maybe he fancies fastest lap come the end of the race. Matt Psycho, who has that fastest lap, started on pole, technically wasn't pole sitter, but did start on pole and has led for a majority of this race, apart from when he pitted. Jim led for a couple of laps. Skyjacker, strong start to the race, but it seems the pit stops just kept putting him back a little further and a little further. And now he's got Bazza 10 seconds down the road. A 2:02 from Bazza, and Skyjacker a 2:02.8. So it's going to be a battle of wheels there. It's going to be who chucks it off. Normans, who we think's just put a set of softs on, but he's put himself at high risk from Super Manny. And with the softs, we assume is for him to try and get a fastest lap. So I suppose if that's the case, he will pull away from Super Manny. But still, it's a risky move if it's just for a fastest lap. So Pat in 7th, and he's ahead of Ensign Ewer. He's gone faster again, a 2:02. So Pat pushing his Toyota to the limit. Ensign Ewer in the Nissan, making the grid look a little prettier, but pretty much that's all that Nissan's for. It's just to have a different looking car on the grid. Homesick Alien, solid job at the moment. Fuel seems to be okay. He's seeing all these Group 1 cars go by, but it worries him not. With Liam, oh for God's sake, Liam Anfield in 2nd place. Fuel and everything looks okay. Koikarp's got half a tank. Talleyrand's got half a tank. And Joker's got a full tank. He's been in and put a full tank in. He said, what the hell? Matt Psycho on lap 70. Only 5 more laps to go. That's 10 minutes in my book. And it'll run over the 2.5 hour mark by about 5 minutes, which is probably about right with that wet stint at the beginning. Hey Suki, how are you, pretty girl? It's been a very interesting race. Very spaced out from early doors. I think the rain caused a lot of spacing and early stops and people changing their strategies. Skyjacker in the McLaren replica monster Toyota. Baz is only 7 seconds behind him. Oh my gosh. A 2:01 from Bazza last time out. 2:06 from Skyjacker. So Bazza's pushing on. How are we doing down in the Group 3s? Homesick Alien, 46-second lead on Liam Anfield. And the fuel doesn't even look like it's dropped any. Liam Anfield, 46 seconds ahead of Talleyrand, who's a lap ahead of Koikarp, who I'm guessing is virtually a lap. Not quite a lap. I'm surprised they don't show a time for that. So it's Baz who's on the move at the moment. Skyjacker can't seem to string a good lap together. He did moan, everything hurt. It's been a long race, and the young, fit Baz in better physical shape and mental shape to take on the endurance. I'm not even in good shape. I'm really... my eyes are all... keep closing my eyes. So it's God knows what it's like for those guys. It's been a tough one. Feels like it's ages since we've done a 2.5 hour race. Four seconds. I think Skyjacker's on his ass now, and I think he's just counting out time, and it's only a matter of moments when Bazza comes and takes that podium. We're going to have a lovely colourful podium there with all the colours. Oh, Baz throws it off, but he survives. He survives 4 seconds behind Skyjacker. I daren't go anywhere else. Norman's is 7 seconds ahead of Superman because he did make that stop for the soft tyres. Superman pushing on though, trying to catch up Norman's. Norman's doing a 2:02 last time around. So did Superman. Skyjacker also popping in the pits for a fresh set of tyres, I think we saw. And that's what's made Bazza so close to him, and now 5 seconds. We're getting a very exciting finish. Matt Psycho on lap 72 of 75. And we are so close to the end of the race now. We'll have a quick look at the donation-y things. So I need to go to Discord. I need to go to Endurance Chat. Find it. Endurance Race Info. Up to donate here. £540. So huge thank yous go to Homesick 77 for £10 he's just put in. I think that's for Normans to race. Jokers putting in £10. Anonymous putting in £20. Elaine putting in £10. Binko putting in £49. Daz putting in £50. Thingamajig putting in £10. Mrs. Thingamajig putting in £20. Carolyn Mama Sykes, should I say, putting in £50. Talaran putting in £20. Liam Anfield putting in £30. Pat putting in £20. Team Psycho putting in £20. Skyjacker putting £10 in. Pace Motorsport, KLM Pace and Supermanny putting in £20. Huge thank you to all of these guys. Mrs. Homesick putting in £10. Anonymous putting in £20, which was Jokers, so he's putting loads more. Bendit putting in £21.50. Mama Homesick putting in £40. And Racer Brown putting in £10. And there's still more. Huge thank you to all of these guys. Quick Up, £10. Jim, £50. Dan Houston, who's, oh no, I wouldn't use his real name, he's Ensign Ewart, £10. Bazza, £10. And Homesick Alien, £10. Great stuff from all of these guys. Huge thank you from all of us at the VRC, the Virtual Racers Club, for all the donations. Bazza is cooking and I love it. Where is he? He's there. Oh, he is cooking, you're right. Oh, I had to come to that. Kaylin with love hearts. So huge thank you to everyone who has donated for this great cause. And I'm just going to put in £20 myself again, because it's a cracking cause. I'm going to put in £20 if Bazza overtakes him. on, Baz, you can do this. Yes, add gift aid. Stationary money, that, continue. Donate with Apple. Are you thinking about it? Don't press it. There we go, donate with Apple. Come on, Baz. Oh, Baz is through, sorry. I was too busy trying to donate money. Go on, Baz. So Baz up into third, and that's my donation completed. As easy as that. As easy as that. Thank you very much. And now we are up to £560. Come on. Great stuff. Bazza up into third. Skyjacker's going to try and make a race of it. Matt Psycho is on lap 74 of 75. And the Baz on fire, but Skyjacker's got a tow. Skyjacker trying to come back. He's hanging out of his ass, but he's still trying hard. As they go past Koi Carp. And we've got some walking wounded out there at the moment. Norman's in fifth place ahead of Super Manny by 10 seconds, but Super Manny's tyres are shot. Pat in seventh, he's off the track. Ensign Newart's 2 minutes behind him. Homesick Alien still leading the Group 3 cars, and he's ahead of Liam Anfield, who's in second place, and Talleyrand in third, Koi Carp in fourth, Jokus in fifth. The Baz though and Skyjacker, that's the closest battle on track, and it's tight between the two of them. Bazza's just flying, isn't he? Bazza, I think Skyjacker is ailing with something there, and he's dropping off the pace now. Norman's too far away, and Skyjacker all the way through in a podium position, sees it slip away, and Bazza on home soil could possibly do this. It's the final lap. It's the final lap now, and Matt Psycho completing the task, the mission. Go out there and win, and he's done a super job. Jim having one of the best endurance races he has had with us, full stop. Great driving from Jim. Baz stealing that podium right near the end there, crossing the line to start his final lap, and Skyjacker chasing him. Still a chance, Skyjacker feels. The podium is on. Norman's in fifth for a last minute replacement, done a super job. Sixth place for Super Manny on his final lap now, and that's Pat in seventh. Who's he struggling with? Is that Matt Psycho? Oh, come on, Pat, let him through. It's his glory lap. So Matt Psycho makes it through, and Pat there in seventh, with Ensign Newitt in eighth. Homesick Alien, is this it for Homesick Alien? No, he's not had the final lap yet. His fuel's low. Liam Anfield's 40 seconds, his fuel's low. He'll be wishing it's the final. Now he gets the final lap for Homesick Alien. And where is Matt Psycho? He's just behind Liam Anfield, coming along the straights. And Matt Psycho didn't get pole, but started from pole. He's got the fastest lap. He's led virtually from the beginning, apart from when he pitted. And that's Jim took that over. And Matt Psycho has ran a virtually perfect race. Congratulations, Matt Psycho. Well done. Pat crosses the line in seventh, and Liam Anfield finishes in second place. And Jim then. Jim, come on. I can't see who's going to cross the line next. One of this lot. Bazza, probably. Bazza goes across. Take a boo, my son, with Skyjacker in fourth. I think Talleyrand has finished third. Take a boo as well. We saw both third places finishing. Homesick Alien some way away still. God, where is everyone? Who's that? Baz is done. Skyjacker. Normans crosses the line in fifth. Great stuff. Here comes Super Manny. Only 4 seconds behind Normans in the end in sixth. Ensign Newer is some way off. Oh my God, there's a lunch of them crossing now. No, there's not. Someone is. Who's crossing? I'm lost. I can't find anyone. There seems to be people crossing the line, but I don't know where they are.
Nice race. Well done, everyone.
Oh, that's Jim going by. Homesick Alien. I'm just going to watch Jim cross the line, then I'm going to watch Homesick Alien cross the line. I can't keep track of who is where. So, Jim, a fantastic race from Jim. Didn't put a foot wrong. And it comes home in second. His best finish in the Virtual Racers Club Endurance Championship. Well done. And then we've got Homesick Alien, another win for the Alien. Great drive there. Ensign Newer's not finished yet. Where is he? He's just coming up. Is he the last one? He is. And Ensign Newer in the Nissan. Unbelievable stuff. These took that car around for 2 hours and 37 minutes. What a hero. And Ensign Newer finishing in 8th place. Great stuff. But it's Matt Psycho and Homesick Alien, the winners today. And what a great race. What a long race. That felt long. And there is Matt Psycho holding his fist in celebration. Great drive. We'll have a quick look at those results. And then we'll wrap it up. So Matt Psycho took the win. Ahead of Jim. Bazza gets a podium. Cracking stuff, Baz. Well done. Skyjacker in the end losing pace through all sorts of pain that he was carrying, and he comes home 4th. Norman's in 5th. Super Manny in 6th, with Pat in 7th and Ensign Newer in 8th place. And then moving on to the Group 3s, we had Homesick Alien taking the win from Liam Anfield, who finished in 2nd, and Talaran rounds out your podium. Koi Carp in 4th, with Jokers in 5th, Bendit in 6th, and Pace coming home in 7th. Now a quick flurry of chats. Mama Psych saying, congrats Matt, great stuff, well done all, great job thingy. Oh, you sure? I was really struggling. Kaylin saying GG's all. Skyjacker saying aching. Pat saying nice race, well done everyone. Skyjacker saying well done Matt, Jim and Baz. Also Homesick Liam and Talleyrand. Jay saying Jimbo. And Matt Psycho saying well done all. Matt Psycho saying oh, well done all the podium. Jim saying well done everyone. Jay saying full on Porsche podium. Yeah, it seemed like a good car, that Porsche, didn't it? Yeah. And Jay saying well done. Jim saying Essex Boys podium. Hey, Belgium. We'll let Bazza be an Essex boy. And Liam Anfield saying well done everyone. Wowzers, guys, wowzers. Mama Homesick saying amazing win, Homesick, well done all. And Bazza saying this one was for Thingy beating what we're racing for. Thank you. And Psycho saying thank you Thingy and Homesick. And I'll have one quick last look to see. £560 raised. We asked for 500 and we've gone over our target by 12%, 112% we've got. So a huge thank you to everyone who donated. You are amazing. You're all heroes. And Matt Psycho saying Essex Massive, all driving around in their Cortinas up to McDonald's in the car park, revving up the engine of their little Vauxhall bloody Corsas. I was your broadcaster and your commentator, Pat McGroin. Thank you for joining us here at the Virtual Racers Club. Ladies and gentlemen, I am spent, and I imagine they are spent. And a huge thank you to everyone who's taken part, has donated, and has just chilled out and watched us. Thank you. Thank you all. Peace and love. Peace and love.